All right, let's open up with a little promo. We are officially live, and we're going to get this information in, and we're going to get out. Right? We just want to discover, I should say, a little bit more information concerning the SPACs. Those are the hot button topics of the market. And so one of our esteemed investment crew colleagues asked about the ideal of investing in some of the SPAC warrants, or just the ideal of wanting to invest in SPACs, period. So I felt like, hey, now is a great time to kind of discuss it, discuss some of the topics surrounding, all the formality of what a SPAC is and how important they can be, in essence, to that of the actual retail investor, which gives us leverage, a little bit more better leverage than that of what we get in terms of waiting on an IPO to come out and hedge funds come in and, pretty much price us out the market, right? So we're going to discuss that a little bit again. Hope everybody's having a great day. Peace, power, and profit to everybody out there on this awesome Sunday. Hope you are enjoying some sun on this day, right? Right now, it's still a little gray and gloomy out in my little area, of course. We got dumped with all that snow, but hey, y'all know how it go. We love it anyway because we are sedentary, right? We are, again, computer nerds. We sit at the desk all day trading, or on our cell phones getting after this money. So, it kind of suits us pretty fine one way or the other. We're outside or inside. We're going to be focused on finding out how can we get some money, all right? So thank you guys for tuning in. Peace, power, profit to everybody that may be watching and can't type or like, definitely like, share, and subscribe to the video. Of course, if you're someone who enjoys some of the content that we put out, what we're trying to do, obviously, is elevate the minds of people to become more responsible, fiscally responsible, that is, and find the ways to pretty much to procure a bag, as we like to say, right? How to get some money forward of a system, right? So peace, power, profit to you all. Happy to have you guys in the house, in the building. Not going to be on totally long. Just want to come over, come on and go over some of the things that, like I said, we was kind of discussing in one of our little bad chats about SPACs, right? They're very important because they're breaking out everywhere now, right? They're breaking out like crazy right now. All types of SPACs, reverse mergers are going on again, and that's the new Bitcoin hype, right? That's the new marijuana hype, right? That's the new, whatever, right? And markets move through phases, right? It's a cyclical environment where it was hot at the moment, right? It may not be hot, next year, but nonetheless, while it is hot, the getting is good. I say get all you can and leave nothing on the table. And so the SPACs are providing that right now. They're breaking out like crazy. The warrants are popping. Man, I remember investing in warrants and trading warrants back in early 2017. The trade of warrant was kind of like, you on some, on another level. Now it's like trading warrants is like the thing to do now. It's kind of like trading options without having to buy a contract, right? And we're going to break that down. People are like, what do you mean buying an option without having to buy a contract? Well, that's basically what you're doing when you're buying a warrant. A warrant it has a predestined maturity date to it. Once that date hits, you have to take ownership of those shares, or you got to sell it the day before, right? It's kind of like taking advantage of a COMEX contract for buy a barrel of oil, right? If that COMEX contract come available and you exercise that contract and you don't cash out before that, you're going to have a big 55-gallon drum barrel of oil delivered at your front door. You can be like, what is this? All I'm going to say is put it in the backyard and then put pit bulls back there. They ain't going to bite you. Right? Unlimited oil to refine and turn into some gasoline. All right. So again, thank y'all for tuning in. Happy to have you guys in the building. We'll open up like we always do, right? Play a little bit of, a little promo, right? For some of you guys may not be already acclimated 100% yet into the market, but you've been following us, been following other people, you've been doing your due diligence, haven't kind of broke ground on getting your first brokerage app yet quite. Hey, we're going to help you go ahead and get that started right away. Webull is one of the ones that we use amongst many, of course, but again, with that being said, we're here to offer whatever we can as far as information and also data to help you get started. So again, promo coming up with Webull. Stay tuned. Check it out. We'll be right back. All right, and that's that, and that's what they call paying a little ad revenue, right? A little ad revenue, right? Cost me $3, right? Cost you $3 too. Of course, the greatest thing popping out there, in my opinion, is a brokerage account. Did that of a bank account. You bring your bank account, I'll put up my broker accounts. We'll see which one stands, pound for pound, which one's the best to be obviously acquiesced, right? And I'll just leave it at that. So again, if you have not again, took that, that leap of faith, if you want to call it that, because it's not that serious. They don't ask for your where you didn't stay for the past 30 years. They don't care about your credit. They don't care about how many baby mothers you have, and they don't care if you got any felonies, and if you didn't send death threats to the president. They don't care about none of that. All they want to know is when you make this money, if you figure out how to make the money, where we can tax you at, right? And that's it. So again, we are very happy about sharing that information with teaching people how to take financial literacy in their own hands, be the pretty much the vanguard that they've always envisioned themselves to be for us financially, and protect their own assets, right? And grow their assets. So happy to have you guys again in the house. We have some family coming through already. We see the illustrious Miss Awesome Monica Lamb in the house. Peace, power, and profit to you. Hey, hold up. Let me start mid-sentence. We got this campaign we're trying to do, right? We're trying to help our sisters get to 1,000 subscribers, hopefully before the new year. I know we've been late on promoting it like we should have, but please, if you follow this channel, if you follow the other channel, African Emporium, the first, African Emporium 1, if you want to call it that, this is 2, right? Or if you followed me in the Discord rooms or wherever, you would have no better person to follow than I think this woman right here. She's obviously a very selfless, woman. She gives a lot of, again, applicable data, not just speaking word salad all day over the mic. She drops jewels all kind of ways. So I would say go subscribe to her channel. Help her get to 1,000 subscribers. Again, Monica Lab, you guys see her in the chat right now. Go support her right now. Don't even think twice. Trust me, you will not regret it, right? So support people who are out there putting in work and ain't asking that from you, right? Go support people who support you, right? Peace, power, and profit to that. What's going on overseas? We have overseas in the building. Peace, power, and profit to you as well. Over Marquis Kid and Popular in the house. They are resident crypto guru in the building. Well, I know you use the word guru because I know he don't like the word guru, but he knows his stuff, right? Peace, power, and profit to our brother Matthew in the house as well. Happy to have you in the building over as always. Our family Jared Palit in the building. Peace, power, and profit. You've been a minute. Happy to have you back in the house. Happy to have everybody in the house tuning in. What's going on over Chris, right? The resident, all things that have to do with investing and getting to the bag. Go subscribe to his YouTube channel as well. Again, guys, building out some really good content, putting in the type of work that y'all know, the type of stuff that we follow and we need. I'm going to put it in that perspective, from education to, again, fiscally monetary policy type of information, things that nature, kind of help bring your speed on how all this stuff works, from the ground up. And then just general over, average everyday knowledge when it comes to investing. So again, you got some people out here that's grinding, and I say go support them. Why wouldn't you? Right? Don't cost you nothing but a fingerprint of pressure to hit that like button on your mouse, or just click your little phone or whatever you use, your trackpad on your MacBooks. Go subscribe to people's channels, guys. Don't cost you nothing. Stop trying to politicize a light. Don't cost you nothing, really. Right? Help people get exposure that's actually out here putting in work, right? And so again, that's the best way to support people. If you don't want to cut them, a cash app or a donation, right? Go subscribe to their channel. When they publish a video, click on the video, put it on another tab, and cut the volume out even if you don't want to listen to it, right? And just go about your business. Let them help them get the view, right? Come on, guys. We got to start thinking strategic. People out here making good money on YouTube, and they're posting a whole lot of stuff that don't even compare to what we put out. It don't even compare to what we put out, right? We teach people how to eat, how to get to a bag, and people politicize and like, share, or subscribe. It's sad, I know. Sad where we live in. Maybe it's the COVID, right? Maybe it's the COVID. All right, anyway, thank y'all for tuning in again. Peace, power, and profit to everybody again. Like I said, we're going to make this, straight to the point. Again, some of us been asking questions about, what's the deal with all this SPAC stuff? SPAC this, SPAC that, SPAC that, SPAC whatever. All right, all right. Remind me of an old rap group back in the old school, right? I'm from Florida. Y'all know how it is, right? Rap group used to be called Splat Pack. Some of you guys may not be familiar with them. Some of you guys may. But they had one of the hardest, best, dance songs around the country, right? Scrub the Ground. I don't know if y'all remember that. Scrub the Ground, right? Some of y'all be like, hold up, African Point. You a little too old for me, brother. But anyway, this whole new craze with SPACs, right? Understanding what a SPAC is, what's the importance of a SPAC. And again, right now in this type of marketplace that we're dealing with so many, well, okay, let's back up a little bit. Thinking about what happened since COVID, right? And before that, we had a lot of different IPOs that were slated to come out, right? And some of them got pushed back and this, that, and the third. And what they found out was, of course, they can save a lot more money if they partook in the ideal of doing what they call a reverse merger, right? And coming in under a shell company, right? Legally, of course, legally. And now they get a chance to offer more equity value to shareholders, obviously to retail investors like you and myself, than that of just having big banks and institutions come in and kind of price the stocks or the market, price them way out of the scenario, where at a point where they're not in control of the situation. They don't have to spend a whole lot to get a whole lot, is my point, I guess. Right. And so we're gonna kind of delve in that a little bit. Of course, we're not, confessing to or professing to be right, the utmost gurus in the space of SPACs. Of course, I've invested in some. I do invest in some. I'm looking at getting a few more. Matter of fact, we're gonna go over one today that's coming. That's going to have a drop tomorrow, actually. So this one's coming fresh off the press tomorrow. So we're gonna look into that a little bit as well. So I do implore you guys again, crack open them MacBooks, them desktops if you got it, your cell phones, and let's do this stuff together, right? As I'm always saying, when I come on live, I like to, come on in the spirit of a workshop mentality, so we can work together. Because the best thing about this is a hands-on approach. It was a hands-on type of business model. You got to get your hands dirty, right? And it just deals with you pressing on your little keyboards, right? Pressing on your little cell phone, your laptops, your tablets, whatever you have, right? If that's gonna cause you a little sleep, I'm sorry, right? But if you want to learn how to get paid, then hey, that's the least you can do, right? That's the least you can do, right? So thank y'all again for tuning in. Again, if you got questions as well, you can drop those in the back chat. Let me get the link as well. I'm gonna go ahead and share the link. Anybody want to come on the back chat? Some of you guys may be familiar with SPACs as well. Might want to discuss those different items or different topics. You'll be welcome to come on and do so. Of course, that's what this is all about. We are a community-minded environment, a community university, so to speak. Jump on the live stream and let's discuss it. Right? Let's keep it strictly about getting paid, right? Because that's what we're here for, right? That's what we're here for. And I think when knowledge is being disseminated, we all should take advantage of, uh, you know, the importance of it, especially if it can help us become better at trading or whatever the case. So again, there's the link, guys. If you want to jump on the panel, there it is. We're going to discuss it, and we're going to get right at it. And then, whether we finish before or after the futures market pop off, we're going to be ready for the future market, because we are obviously in the thick of, or the trench of, a lot of what so-called potential breaking news, and that being the ideal of whether or not we're going to get this stimulus package, right? We're going to get this stimulus package signed before 12 a.m. Monday morning, right? Which is basically 12:01 late tonight in the a.m. They have up until then to sign this stimulus deal, unless the government's going to shut down. Now, of course, we know they drug their feet this long, thus long, I should say. And because of that, we've been suffering, right? A lot of people have been suffering. I say we, mean I'm not. I speak for a lot of people who are out there just trying to, put, two and two together to make ends meet here and there. And it's just tough out here, right? It's tough, right? And so Congress is still getting paid. All these people that sitting up in these publicly seated positions that the public sent them there are still eating good, and other people are sitting in food lines, right? Other people worried about how they're gonna, survive and feed their kids or whatever the case, clothe their kids. And so, again, the government's really showed out in a very ugly way since this COVID stuff has really hit. And right now is the best time to start circling your own wagons. And I say that, find people who have a like interest like yours, link with them, and so you guys can come up with a blueprint or a plan or a think tank to kind of come up, with some kind of, lane to kind of steer people to, right? Steer towards getting money, void of, again, having to go to work, exposing yourself to COVID, whatever the case, right? Do what you got to do. And from my seat of the house, I've seen nothing yet greater than what we've been able to procure in this market in terms of using the stock market to help us get to that goal, right? We saw an immeasurable return that came out of the market as a whole after the pandemic scenario came, to be relevant, that it was a serious scenario. The market fell, and then it rebounded like none other. Not only that, it went on to make all-time highs. So this is the best best, not even a full year on a fiscal calendar, growth aspect of a market that the market has ever seen, literally ever seen in U.S. history. The amount of money that was pumped into it by the Feds, by others who want to be a part of this market, even when their economies were failing, meaning globally. A lot of other global markets were struggling, while ours was still kind of being propped up. It being the go-to market because our USD dollar still rules as to be the king on the currency level. So people footed to what they figured to be a flight of safety, right? They came to our markets, right? They started buying our bonds, right? T-bill, treasury notes, collateral-backed lending loans, all that stuff was just popping because, Jerome Powell made sure that he was going to backstop all those things and keep them from defaulting, right? Even muni bonds, right? They was even buying up municipal bonds, right? They were just basically incentivizing, collateralizing, or monetizing, I should say, debt. Right, they began to just buy everything that they can get their hands on. Right. So anyway, so with that being said, again, like I said, we're gonna discuss this stuff, about this whole SPAC stuff. And let my brother on real quick. It's my brother that popped in the house. What's going on? Peace, power, and profit to you, over Chris in the house. Right. Hope you're having a good day. Can you hear me, over Chris? Let's begin this mic together. But yeah, so thank you again. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe to the video, and
profit, over. Yeah, I can hear.
What's going on, family? Peace, power, and profit to you.
Peace, power, and profit. How you doing today?
Doing well, man. Happy to be in the house, man. Hanging out with you out. As I said, my intellectual peers and you guys, trying to share some information, man. Trying to get people a little bit, more familiar with this whole idea of this SPAC stuff, right?
Yeah, I want to. Sister Deshonda brought it to our attention. I think we talked about it before, but I'm glad you decided to do a class today on it, so everybody can, get this education.
No
So
doubt.
we can get our bag and stuff like that. So it's just a pleasure being here today.
No doubt, man. Same likewise, because again, you know how this stuff go. Information is king, right? Knowledge brings power, power brings profit. Y'all know my slogan. I love to say power and profit for a reason, right? But until we start owning that, again, we're always going to be kind of stuck trying to figure out what is it going to take for us to have those things, right?
Right.
So having knowledge is not enough, right? You got to now turn that knowledge into some applicable power, right? And by doing so, you will also find a way to how to monetize it too, right? It's no use of working hard and not getting paid for it. In this case, we're just utilizing the markets. We're not asking for nothing from nobody. We're not trying to, take people through some unnecessary hoops where they can't do their own due diligence and figure out how to get this money too. Everything we're doing is very transparent, and you can go right to the sites that we go to and get the same information that we're putting out. So that's why I love this stuff. We don't own the stock market. We can't sell you nothing. So don't come over here trying to say what y'all selling. Well, we're going to sell. I'm going to sell you something, all right? I'm going to sell you a free brokerage account. All right, they're going to leave them scratching their head there. All right, get excited. What's going on, Sister Mo? Peace, power, profit to you. Happy to have her in the house as well. How you doing today, sis?
Hey, good evening. Peace, power, and profit, Brother African Emporium. Peace, power, and profit to Chris, and peace, power, and profit to the chat in the world.
Right. Giving a shout out to this world right now, because again, the world can use it. I tell you what, man, dealing with this coronavirus stuff, right? We can't win for losing, it seems like, right?
Yes,
you got strains popping up and stuff mutating, and Joker still trying to go hard. I'm like, look at here, man. You got to go and let nature take its course and do what we can and stay, stay masked up and stay preventative maintenance stuff, I should say, and do our part to things get a little better.
All right, totally agree with that. I got my sea moss smoothie right here on deck.
Shots fired. Shots fired. I got some up there soaking now. I'm all behind right now. I'm jealous of the June bug right now. I'm jealous right now. I went to my last limit the other day. I'm jealous. Jelly, they say. That's what's up. Some of you guys may not be familiar with sea moss and coil. I know we're going to talk about SPAC, but we love to talk about health too, because health is wealth. And you can't have one without the other. You can't be rich and with bad health. And you can't have good health and bad wealth, right? So you got to have that balance. So the sister definitely demonstrating today. We have, as we like to say, we demonstrate, we don't compensate. And so inside that mason jar is life, right? Inside that mason jar is liquid life. And if you have anything against nature, then shame on you, right? Shame on you, right? So shout out to Sister Mo coming through with the sea moss day. Again, I got me some that, like I say, some of that's soaking right now. I'm getting ready to blend up in a little while myself. So I love it. I love it. What's going on, Oba Marquise? Happy to have you in the house today. What's going on, Oba?
What's going on, man? Peace, power, profit. To everybody. How y'all doing?
Man, happy to be, again, in the room with y'all, right? As always, getting it in.
Bowlers in the shot callers. What's up, Marquise?
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, man, loving it, man. Again, I know we're gonna talk about these SPACs a little bit today, but it's coming. It's coming to the blockchain world too eventually, and it's already informed a little bit under some other different aspects because some of these smaller subsidiary type of ICOs that came out that went under, I was doing a big boom of 2017 and 2018. Where a lot of them got began to get thinned out when KYC and all that stuff became a big issue. So a lot of them folded, right? They turned out to be frauds, and they just couldn't cut the mustard. I think they're now watching the equity side of the house with these SPACs, and they're gonna start doing the same thing. They're gonna start, forming like a Voltron, blockchain type of SPAC, right? To kind of, put everything in house, into one place, so they can come at the market another way to kind of, steal some of that market share. I know I got a feeling it's gonna come at some point, right? But when and how they're gonna do it, that's gonna be very interesting, nonetheless. But hey, I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna happen on the equity side first. It's gonna be a blockchain equity SPAC. What do you guys think about that? Maybe like Ride and XNet gonna merge again, some other stuff gonna merge together. It's gonna be crazy. But we shall see, as they say, right? So interesting, right?
Yeah. Now I would say I'm trying to learn what you say they call SPACs, like that. This is
SPACs.
new.
Yeah, SPACs. I'm sorry, SPAC.
That's the equity.
Right. And so I guess I use some military phonetics, right? So it's basically Sierra, Papa, Alpha, Charlie, right? SPAC. So what is a SPAC? So we'll jump right into that, matter of fact. So while we on the topic, right? So when we think about, of course, you guys probably look down in my description box. What better place to go get it is that I'm always trying to provide something out of my little description box. But I got the, hold up, where is that? Where are we? Okay, yeah. I have the tangible definition, I should say, down here in the description box. So it says, basically, it's a special purpose acquisition company, right? It's a blank check shell corporation designed to take companies public without going through the traditional IPO process. That costs a lot of money, right? They even go IPO because you got to pay for underwriters. You got to go through all the hoops and all that, filing fees, whatever, right? So SPACs, and these companies are already what? Publicly traded as points, so they're just kind of merging, which we're gonna go over that. So SPACs allow retail investors, that's the key part right there. SPACs allow retail investors to invest in private equity type transactions. What does that mean, to invest in private equity type transaction? Anybody want to take a stab at that?
Private equity transactions.
Those are
buying and selling other companies.
Yeah, those are not publicly traded.
Right,
like companies that are out there doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that well, definitely those in the market don't have access to. So only the elite can get in. You got to be invited in.
Right, kind of like what we're dealing with. Like I say, when they pricing us out, these some of those expensive IPOs like Snowflake, and how they did it with DoorDash, how they done us with Airbnb, right? Pricing people out, right? They run the tape up, and you can't mess with it, right? So private equity, of course, the first word is private. So I let you know it's still a private-based company, right? They get a chance to come to market without all the headache.
Yeah.
By getting with a company that's already saturated, right? By them right, the company providing a blank check for them to come in, right? They negotiate the terms of how they're going to do that, for the warrants, right? They show, and their way of kind of
they got the time.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was saying they have the time on their side.
Right. A lot of time available, which we're gonna break that down too, and they can just come into the market without all the headache. Right. Again, it's like forming Voltron on the equity side.
So basically, it's like a bigger company acquiring a smaller company that hasn't went private yet, like just kind of absorbing them.
Yep. in a lot of ways, but they're more special interest value though. That's the good thing about them. So they're gonna link them up with a certain interest value that holding company might have. Because you know as well as I know, especially back in let's say 2016, even 2017, like some of these holding companies that were like the marijuana types, when marijuana companies were popping, the holding companies were killing it, right? Because they were the ones who were acquiescing a lot of smaller, companies that were obviously dealing in the growth space, that were dealing in the paraphernalia, ancillary items. They would just come in and kind of buy them up, right? And they will be the holding company or the managing company to own them, right? And that's basically what a holding company is, if you think about that, right?
Yeah, like Berkshire Halfway, right?
Right, or something that's dealing with strictly, like I say, dealing with a lot of holdings. And of course, Berkshire would be that, on a bigger level, right? On a big level, but definitely. So, like Mentor Hold, I remember that come. I remember trading a marijuana little holding company. I made a kill on that stock, right? But there was others too. But what also do really good in a SPAC scenario, what's built for this kind of lane actually are REITs, right? What are REITs?
Real estate investment trust.
Right, they do really well in this, do they not? Right, because of the fact that they're already going, they're direct to market realities. They come in and they link up with a smaller subsidiary type of little agents and little broker houses and whatever, and they just expand. Right, they just expand. Why don't you come and get with us? Let's absorb a lot of the demographic or the properties that within our region, and we'll just keep whatever. Right, so because everybody's jockeying for space, so to speak. But again, and on the equity side, of course, tech is king, right? So anything that's dealing with tech, definitely in the SPAC form, it's going to be popping, right? The hottest aspect of technology right now, if you think about it from that perspective, is what? Electrical vehicles, right? So they're popping right now. Any disruptive technology type of company inside of a SPAC is popping, right? Space travel, right? Even though, the ticker symbol of space itself is struggling, but they just had a failed launch mission. But nonetheless, these are the type of SPACs that are what? Garnering attention. So we're going to discuss a few of those as well. Because again, this is the best way where you can come in now and get in on some of these warrants. Because y'all know how warrants pop like no other. When they pop, people ride them up until the point when they get very close to maturing. Or when they hit a high peak, a point of just being overbought, and you just turn around and sell them. And obviously make sure you sell them before they mature, because you don't want to get stuck trying to hold up shares that come along with one of those warrants, right? And so that's important to understand too. So when we ask the question, what is a warrant, right? That's going to be a topic that we're going to discuss as well today, because some people may be familiar with warrants and may not know how they work, right? And so you may have thought about wanting, trade one, because you can trade it, you can invest in it, right? But you got to realize that it's kind of like an option contract. It does come with a termination date. I mean, you have to have what you need to be able to own it outright when those warrants mature, right? So again, it's a lot of good opportunities out there in the market. So SPACs are awesome. So again, as it says, a SPAC allows retail investors to invest in private equity type transactions, particularly leveraged buyouts. Right? That's the key part right there, them buyouts, right? Because think about if you get bought out by a bigger SPAC, number one, you finna come into the market under that new company, right? So a subsidiary under that bigger company. You're going to get paid, right? They're going to pay you, of course, to add you to their portfolio. And you're coming into a company, in essence, or a SPAC, where you get a chance to take advantage of a buyout scenario, right? That didn't have to, where you didn't have to sit in a company for, 2-3 years for it to happen, naturally go through the ups and downs. You come in on day one. All you need to hear about them buying a company out. And then the next day, obviously, that SPAC going what? Going boom. Right? Because there's money being transacted, there's growth going to be obviously evident in that aspect of adding them to their war chest or their portfolio, and it makes for a great a great trade or a great investment if you're thinking about holding it long term. You like the overall portfolio structure of that SPAC, right? So SPACs are very important. So again, coming down here in the bottom, as you can see, it says what? Flying under the acronym of the SPACs, right? So ugly and offensively aggressive to that only a tone-deaf investment banker could have coined it, right? SPACs, right? This is the most snarky little journalist probably put this together, of course, right? So short for special purpose acquisition companies are the new thing for private equity firms and their ever loyal investors, right? So these are the companies who, again, that grow, get well founded, get well invested by VC cap investors, people who got Series 6, Series 7 license, whatever, to get in early, which we can't unless we have those license. Obviously, $250,000 investments are higher in some cases, right? it shuts us out of the market, right? Think about the people who invested in Snapchat early on, right? Remember that high school that invested in Snapchat way back before Snapchat became private? They made a killing when it came to market, right? Stuff like that, right? So now that kind of puts the power in the hand of the investor, right? Me and you, right? So get excited for that, and we don't have to sit there and wait, right? And go through all the process and letting underwriters ramp up the price, right? And the order books when they come to IPO day. And, again, that puts the retail investor in a place of power. That's why a lot of retail investors are now starting to flock to these SPACs like crazy. And again, some of the ones we're going to discuss today is going to really blow your mind. You're like, man, I didn't think about that, right? But it makes sense, right? Dollars and cents when you think about it. It's like a collection. It's like an ETF. It's a subsidiary ETF in its own right. Think about that for a moment. That's basically what they are. They got all these companies underneath them, special interest type companies too, right? With a blank check worth of opportunity, because some of these major type of investors like a Peter Thiel or Shamat Palihapitiya, right? Nova Gratz, or who else we could think of? Tudor Jones, or anybody, right? They got a good little money, a Dalio. Any of those guys can come in and say, you know what? And one of our favorite guys, right? I know me and Chris definitely can speak for him, right? Our brother Bill Ackman, right? He's the king of this kind of stuff, right? Right? Him and Shamat to be exact, right? So I definitely follow Bill Ackman, because anybody can make that kind of money where he's making it after taking a $4 billion loss on one trade. I'm gonna follow that guy. He made it all back and then some, right? That was that big, obviously, legendary bet he made against Carl Icahn back in the days with Herbalife, right? If you haven't, got wind of that, go look it up. It's everywhere. It was a legendary bet. Turned out Herbalife was trash at the end of the day, right? But nonetheless, we're going to discuss this again here today, talking about these SPACs. And so again, just talking, down here it says Apollo Global Management has just announced it plans to raise $400 million in U.S. initial public offering for Spartan Acquisition Corp. The second, right, which will then go out and seek to acquire an energy translated related business. Now, that first paragraph right there. See what they're saying? They're going to raise the money first. They don't know how much it's going to cost, this, that, the third. They're going to raise the money first. That means they're going to put up a blank check, right? This company, Spartan Acquisition Corp, the second, whatever, it's again going to go out and do the bidding of what? Apollo Global Management. It's a recruiter recruiting somebody to go out to do more what? Recruiting, but the recruiter's getting a nice, right? a nice, check. The person that's going to go out and do the real leg work and find all the energy translated or transition related businesses and bring them all back in under one umbrella. Does that make sense a little bit, guys? You guys follow me a little bit in terms of how the process, how it works?
Yeah, right? Yeah. I'm following. I'm just trying to understand how the end result is, but I'm following you up to now how it's the purpose and how it's being created.
Yeah, we're gonna go over some SPACs too. This is just kind of like putting some examples into play here, right? Understanding the ideal of how these SPACs work, in terms of again, the top, the shell scenario, then going picking up all the little smaller little companies underneath those, right? Or merging them inside that one SPAC, right? So again, the offering would be for Spartan Acquisition Corp to be the actual ticker, or whatever that ETF, or we call it ETF, but whatever that SPAC will be, it will be traded under the Spartan Acquisition Corp. But it will be owned by who? Apollo Global Management, right? Kind of like if Elon Musk wanted to do a SPAC for his companies, right? Which would be great, right? Tesla would be the what? The management company, right? Mm-hmm. Then he can turn around and say, okay, we'll call it, T-SPAC, right? For Tesla SPAC, right? Some crazy name, right? Whatever you want to name it. All the other companies underneath that Tesla owns, like what? SpaceX, Boring Company, right? For the Boring Drilling Company. He owns all of the solar panel company that he bought from his brother, right? Right? He got the flamethrower, right? The little flamethrower, right? Even though it's a gag, but he sells them, whatever. He even got special Tesla tequila, right? This tequila company that he just got popping. He also got the Tesla shorts, right? You can sell it short. He could bring all those companies underneath that one SPAC and deal with that separate than what? Tesla stock itself. So all the revenue that that's generated underneath that T-SPAC from the boring, the solo company, the tequila, the SpaceX scenario, right? Whatever, right? Now that becomes what? Another controlling interest value that is kind of like a DBA, right? Off of LLC scenario or a business license, so to speak, right? So now they can now have that as a separate tax, annexation value where he can now benefit off that revenue too and separate that from what? His Tesla business. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
Him being the controlling interest in that, now, that gives him a lot of power, right? And so now, but on top of that, again, he can appoint other people to run all that. He ain't got to worry about trying to micromanage it, right? He just puts up the money, like, hey, I'm gonna put up, $2 billion, right? This $2 billion, these companies are already kind of what? Up and running as they are right now, right? They're private still, right? SpaceX is what? Private, right? The tequila company is private, right? Again, the boring company is private, right? So that's the importance of having that aspect and then it's going to attract who? Retail investors like you and I, right? Because we're going to say, you know what? This is still part of the tech brand, or excuse me, the Tesla brand, right? Who wouldn't want to be a part of that? And it's a growing industry, right? Or he could separate it and be like, you know what? Since there's already a space program out there, there's a space SPAC out there for space travel, or space exploration, or space whatever, utility value, he can allow his company, obviously SpaceX, to be a part of that SPAC. You see what I'm saying? They'll offer him so much money that obviously have him list, and then that could be a major weighted company in that SPAC to kind of carry a lot of revenue, I should say, generate a lot of revenue into that SPAC itself because of the Tesla brand, right? So like I said, these things do really well, and they've done really well for marijuana companies back in the days, and now they've just now been starting to pop, and the tech sector is picking up. EV space is picking it up. ESG type of stocks, environmental, social governance stocks are picking them up. Of course, spearheaded by the idea when Bill Ackman came out and said, this is kind of like the new wave. And then right behind him, Shamat got on board. You already know Shamat, he's all about, that new age type of level of investing. He put his money right up right away. And we're going to actually speak on Shamat too, because we got a nice little one coming out this Monday that we're going to discuss as well that has to deal with Shamat. Right, so stay tuned to that. Right, so that's what's so that's the importance of how these little SPACs really bring about a lot of opportunity, and the warrants on some of these SPACs are like dirt cheap, We talking about most warrants are, if the stock is like trading at like $5, the warrant will be like maybe like 70 80 cents, $1. If it's trading at $1, the warrant gonna be like 10 cents, 30 cents, and then if that stock pop on the merger news, the warrant instantly jumps up about 3, 4, 5, 600, 700, 800%. That kind of stuff. I know y'all been watching it on your little black box scanners and Webull scanners, so y'all know what I'm talking about. You're like, what's this little warrant stuff? I can't even trade it on Webull, can I? You're like, oh, this thing up 300, 400%. And it's because that interest value in the warrants just came alive, because now those warrants were part of the merger deal. They offered so many shares and warrants as well for people to obviously have the ability to take ownership of the stock a lot later if they choose, when the warrant matures, and people are buying the warrants too. So they're buying what they call a 1-for-1. Allotment value or a lot share size of that of the shares, and they're turning out by the same amount for the warrants. And the warrants obviously going to be what? Cheaper. You know what I'm saying? Because warrants are obviously, inevitably cheaper than that of the actual stock price. Right? So if you buy the warrants too, and the stock obviously goes up 700-800%, and you in at 50 cents on the warrants, and you got the regular stock at too, itself for up like $3-4, you cashing out all kind of ways. And that's why a lot of people have been running to them too, because of the fact that you can get a bigger bang for your buck. You can spend $1,000, 500 on one, 500 on the other, and clean up on a merger deal. And anytime they announce a merger aspect of a SPAC, these things are always popping. What just happened with the cancer side? We saw what GLSI, we saw what SLS, right? We saw what SNOA, some of those stocks, the VT, some of them stocks right there starting to move into some of these SPACs as well. On the cancer side, they're making one big conglomerate cancer merger, right? Cancer, fighting cancer, obviously in this case. But there's these biotech companies are coming together, right? So that's what's so again, it's awesome about this stuff, because again, in the event, that we really, really get a chance to, get behind some of these SPACs. Of course, they're just like anything. You gotta do your due diligence. We always gonna tell you, do your due diligence first. right? But they do provide a great way for the more retail investor to come in and be a part of some of these special projects, special interest projects, and get in somewhere at the ground level. And some of the tickets that I'm going to bring up today dealing with some of these SPACs, you're going to see their growth, how they've grown literally over the past month. Right? Let alone, whatever. And we're thinking about some of these stocks we've been in for years, whatever. We're investing in the long term. They just all have taken off. And there's a lot of them out there that you can take advantage of as well, which makes it for a great way to kind of, supplant, some really good ideas when you do your due diligence, figure out if that's the kind of SPAC that you want to be a part of, you can get in. They got SPACs for healthcare.
Hey, over.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna hop back in real quick because for some reason, you sound muddled on my side. So maybe
okay. Can you guys hear me clearly too as well, Sister Mo, Brother Marquis?
I'm fine.
Yeah, I can hear you clear.
Okay. Just want to make sure let me know too, because y'all know when I get to go, I get going, man. I like energized, right? So if you can hear me in the back chat, if you ever get to a point where you can't hear me, hey, somebody scream, say something, I don't mind being interrupted, right? Right. So that way, I want to make sure I'm giving you guys, the best information, obviously, clear as possible, right? All right. So we'll get this together here while Chris is coming back in too. All right. So again, so far, I'm just kind of small, light classification of understanding what these SPACs are and what they're about, whatever. Are you guys following me a little bit there though? Is it so far it's kind of sinking in just a little bit?
Yes.
Right? Yeah, I got to stop.
Yeah, definitely. The more you explain, the clearer it's becoming.
Yeah. And so it's like, we getting in on the bubble, right? Before the bubble really gets to get blown up, because y'all know how information moves around Wall Street, right?
Yeah.
By the time, a ton of advertisement about this stuff really begins to come out, it's already old.
Too late.
Right?
Yep.
This is still new. This stuff really kicked off under COVID. Think about when they first started announcing the first SPAC, right? This was way back in the springtime when they were trying to put together these funds to kind of help some of these failing companies. How they were going to come up with a plan to save some of these companies that were going to go under. Some of these small and private equity companies or private companies that didn't have funds to stay open.
And they definitely tapped in and took advantage of the pandemic. I've been echoing that, like, man, this is the perfect time. I know it's bad to say, but it is what it is, really.
No, that's right. That's business. You got to think about it for what it is. And so you should never feel bad about how life is, in this case, of course, you don't see nobody suffering. That's not what we're saying. We're saying in terms of how, when you think about if you had a chance to save your business, right? And you necessarily didn't have, maybe, some funds to kind of really put forth to kind of go through the ramifications, keep your lights on. Somebody's can't say, you know what, this is what we'll do, right? You're a private company. What if we bring you to market underneath one of our, subsidiary holding companies? We get to save you, your company. We have already a bag or waiting on you to now utilize as what? Cash flow that you can now go into keep the lights on the business and R&D, whatever you need to do to kind of stay afloat and to grow. And, from here, you'll be a part, you just have to share a little bit of your equity value of your company with us without having to, go overboard, so to speak, right? Because we're pulling from a little bit of everybody. You don't have to give all of it up front. You see what I'm saying? We may just want 20%, right? And we may do it through a warrant, acquisition scenario, right? And then so many share values that will be allotted to you now within this SPAC, and now everybody get a chance to be happy and not necessarily go broke, right? That's I'm saying that in layman terms, of course, but that's basically kind of somewhat what's happening in those cases, right? You might just be a good niche market that that's just been kind of stagnant for a long time. Maybe do really good business, but really hadn't just taken off. Right, because the money or the funds haven't been there. But someone come to you with a $400 million blank check, you be like, okay, yeah, now you got my attention, right? Calvin Candy style, right? So that's the importance of how these kind of retail investor VC capital projects have came about, and they've been spearheaded by some of these bigger conglomerate big whales out there, like again your Bill Ackmans and your Shamat Palahapatias and all those types like that, right? So it's good. Again, it's a win-win for a smaller company, in a lot of ways, right? So again, it depends on their situation and what they're what they're trying to do to kind of stay afloat, in this crippling marketplace that we have to deal with since the COVID scenario really took root. All right. So again, as you can see, of course, y'all can go down this through my description box and read this yourself. I'm not going to go over every line, but just want to kind of tap on some of the top ones, the top 3 or 4 paragraphs, kind of see exactly the idea of how these things work. Again, one managing company buys another, puts up some rates, raises some capital, right? And they offer it through a particular SPAC or a particular company brand or a DBA, if you want to call that, or affiliate scenario. And now that becomes the kind of benchmark shell company now to manage all these smaller special interest group companies that they're looking to go out there and acquire underneath it, right? And keep the Apollo Global Management kind of aspect of itself kind of separate, and then run their other businesses through this the shell company, so to speak, right? So it's important. So it says the other leading private equity names associated with the boom for blank check acquisition vehicles include TPG, right? Thomas Hill Lee Partners in Riverstone, right? It's known as Rajiv Misra, Chief Executive Officer of SoftBank's Vision Fund, right there. That's all you can say right there, right?
SoftBank.
Rajiv Misra. You haven't seen him before? Go look him up. Go Google him, right? And then, like Oba just said, SoftBank, right? SoftBank is the world's biggest tech fund company on the planet. Let me repeat that. They are the world's biggest tech VC capital fund management on the planet. When they go big, right? They don't play around with this little small stuff. They don't play around in the 8 digits, right? They doing at least 9 digits or bigger on any of their investments. Go look them up. Tencent, go look them up. I go on, whatever. We ain't gonna get into it, but I would say do your due diligence. SoftBank is the real deal, right? So of course, if they get into this space, which is good, but it was weird too, because they're some of the main ones that priced you out of some of the IPOs y'all wanted to be in. True story. They priced you out of DoorDash. They priced y'all out of what? Out of Airbnb. They priced y'all out of Snowflake. They priced y'all out of Frog, right? They priced y'all out. Warren Buffett got hold of that, and now he got all involved all of a sudden, right? After saying he would never invest in an IPO company. He turned around and broke one of his cardinal. So what does that tell you? Times are changing.
Times are changing, but
Times are changing, buddy. True story, right? So again, it's just important to know that, guys. Of course, we're just trying to follow the money, right? We're trying to keep up with what we seen or deemed to be opportunity, right? So again, it says reportedly due to announce details of a SoftBank SPAC. Hi. Imagine what that's gonna look like. Imagine the type of company that's gonna be underneath that SPAC. Imagine the size of the blank check that they're gonna have to be utilized in that SPAC, right? Talking about people that deals with the billions and billions of dollars, right? So everybody running to them now. So again, if they haven't even gotten into the game yet, that means guess what? It's still what? It's still new. Think about when they do a bank SPAC. Y'all think that y'all finna convince me that the financial sector ain't gonna do a bank SPAC before it's over with? A JP Morgan or a Citi or Credit Suisse or a BlackRock, right? A PNC, a Wells Fargo, a Bank of America. Y'all know it's coming. And it just got cleared by the feds the other day, literally, where they can now start buying back shares and making those kind of dividend payments, and they can let some of that cash go now. They met their reserve so-called quota, which that's to be discussed. I go into that on another show, right? We know why they did that, right? But anyway, they're coming with one. Where did Jamie Dimon get his little dirty little hands on something like that? It's coming. And that's why I said earlier, before you know it, it's going to be in the blockchain space as well. Probably on the equity side, because all you need is a founded company. Grayscale. Grayscale kicks it off. Everybody going Riot, Overstock, you name them.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's kind of what Grayscale, that's already up their alley.
Exactly. Because they're a holding company, kind of.
Yeah, I got that grayscale Bitcoin too, and I was showing Mo that the other night. Grayscale Bitcoin.
Yeah, that Bitcoin Trust.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
The GBTC,
Yeah,
right?
I bought it at like $8. Yeah,
Yeah, and
Word.
it's
yeah,
banging.
like
You know, since
$8.
we on the top real quick, I know y'all know, we like to jump around a little bit over here, right? Right. But yeah, so again, these are the scenarios that and us having this discussion, we get some brain cells get to firing off a little bit here. We can start we can put two and two together and make some right? Make some happen, right? So you think
Right.
about the grayscale here, right? This whole ideal of just how distrust, right? Right? If you want to call it trust or however you want to call it, but that's basically what it is, right? Which is somewhat of a holding company or a trust or a holding, whatever, right? You see what's going on here,
Mm-hmm.
right? Let me get off this hourly chart. I need to go into the daily chart. But of course, since Bitcoin have now taken off again, you see, what's going on with this grayscale, asset right now. Of course, way outside the integration band here, it's popping because of Bitcoin popping. But like we just discussed, was it to them to say, what, okay, now we can come in and really get more credibility. Now we got institutional money want to come into this space finally, right? They're starting to now want to come into the blockchain space after calling it rat poison squared. They're gonna go to zero. Y'all heard all this stuff like everybody else,
Mm-hmm.
right? Everybody do everything they can at Bitcoin. And Bitcoin just did what? Had one big U-shaped bottom, big fry pan bottom, and slashed on out and rolled on out, right? So again, that comes from people understanding the space, understand it's still a young market. Bitcoin is still a young market, believe it or not. People are afraid don't even understand that. This is still a young market. It has happened within the 2000s. That makes it young, right? We're not talking about 90s, 80s, 70s, all that, and to market wise, again, come on, so it's about your perception, how you see things in terms of growth, and how you can put the management aspect of it into play to make sense in terms of a long-term play, right? Meaning what else can they do to continuously grow, right? What can those who are in control of these different assets or decentralized values of token harvesting and utilitarian values and proof of stake, all this, how all this stuff can come into play in terms of make a better monetary system where we can all benefit from, right? All right. And so again, it's a very, very interesting scenario when you think about it from a place of saying that eventually it's going to be a blockchain type of SPAC out there, or a crypto SPAC if you want to call it that, right? So again, now you got something to look forward to, right? So first time y'all start hearing something about a crypto type of SPAC, you're like, yep, we talked about it. Right? We're gonna be rocking and waiting and ready because it's gonna happen, right? It's going to happen, right? So again, something to think about. So again, what I'm gonna do here? Let's run over to let's crack over some of these SPACs, right? Let's get at it, right? Let's get to some meat and potatoes, right? Let's get at it, right? So some of the SPACs, like I say, have just been tearing it up lately. They have been kicking butt and taking names, and people have just been again trying to figure out what's the SPAC stuff about, right? Some people are like, I'm not gonna touch that because I don't know what that's about, right? I don't know what this is, right? But we're gonna try to help you guys unpack it today, right? Give you guys a little bit more clarity and functionality of why some of these SPACs are really awesome, right? So there's the website. I want you guys to go out right now and archive it if you can. I'm gonna post it in the back chat, right? I'm gonna post it in the back chat. There's many of them out, many others as well out there as well. Of course, in this case, here's one that's really set up pretty straightforward, where you can come right on in there and kind of get some information a little bit about what's going on in the SPAC world. It's called SPACtrack.net, right? SPACtrack.net, right? There's that link there. I'm gonna post it here in the back chat as well. Of course, on the I think we should already have it on our side, inside this StreamYard here, but just definitely pull out of the YouTube chat. I'm gonna post it in the group as well. All right, so we'll have that there too, right? So SPACtrack.net, right? Really good one. And there's some others out there too. But I think this one here is like really good and straightforward, right? You just jump on in there, you start seeing all this interesting information surrounding these SPACs. And so we're gonna go over a few of them, right? And again, what's going on over, Brandon? Peace, power, and property. You happy to have you in the house. You guys are busy on this Sunday, right? Let's get it in here. Let's see. So right over the SPAC track.
Hey, what's going on, family?
Hey, you got it, right? Got it. Look at that. First thing we come into on the front page, what do you see?
SoftBank.
See, look, I had to see it. SoftBank to file for a SPAC on what? They ain't even waiting, bro. They're not even waiting. Right? Let me go back to it. Let's go to the actual article. We'll just go to the article. Let's cut to it. Let's go to the article. All right, let's go straight to it. All right. Now, y'all gonna get this work, right? We're gonna try to get someone to work, I should say. All right. So scoop, right? SoftBank to file for a SPAC on Monday, right? And that's gonna be a big blank check. Anybody want to disagree with that? Right? As you already saying, yep, 500 million to what? 600 million, right? And you know that's them man, that's gonna be a well-funded SPAC too.
Come on with it.
Blackstone.
Yeah, they ain't gonna never have to worry about money. That's one thing for sure, right? They ain't gonna have to worry about no money, but we got you. How much you need today? God, dog, y'all blew up that check. Oh God, we got you another one then. Okay. So SoftBank on Monday will file to raise between 500 million, 600 million via IPO of its first SPAC. Axios has learned from multiple sources. Look ahead, the investment giant is said to be prepping at least 2 additional SPACs. See what I'm saying? That's separation. They may do one for tech. They may do one for disruptive market value in terms like an ESG, right? Or they may do some on healthcare. That's what I love about these SPACs, because you can just continue to keep filing them. And it's an easy way to come into the market and IPO under these kind of somewhat subsidiary ETLs and, swallow up a lot of these smaller companies, private companies, right? So again, which are blank check vehicles that raise money to buy a company and take it public via a reverse merger. So what is a reverse merger? Anybody want to tackle what is a reverse merger? All right. Joke like merger, right? Now, basically, when you merge two companies coming together, right? Absorbing each other.
Company
obviously gets bigger share value of that merger, right? Because they probably, got more to lose, right? A liability value. And that kind of puts them in a Sprint and T-Mobile was a merger, right?
A merger. So it's like the companies have a baby.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Right? A reverse merger is somewhat slightly different, right?
The smaller company take over the big one.
It could definitely happen, right? So reverse mergers are, and let's run over here really quickly before we run back over here. And
on Investopedia right now.
All right, yep. So we on. So over, Chris is already on it, right? Let's hit right on over there. So reverse merger, right? Reverse merger advantages and disadvantages, right? So what are the implications of reverse merger? Reverse mergers are commonly referred to as what? Reverse takeover, right? Or reverse initial public offerings, right? Reverse merger is a way for private companies to go public. And while they can be an excellent opportunity for investors, they also have certain disadvantages. Of course they do, right? Because again, we're talking about a blank check, right? In this case, with the SPAC, they got to make sure they do good by all that raise capital, right? So reverse merger is an attractive strategic option for managers of a private companies to go to gain public company status. It is less time consuming. That's the part right there, right? That part right there, right? Less time consuming and less costly. Alternative to conventional initial public offering, right? So that in itself is already, positive, net positives, right? Those are net positives, right? So public company management enjoy greater flexibility in terms of financing alternatives, right? And the company investors enjoy greater That's what day traders are here for, right? Liquidity, right?
Facts.
Exactly what them day traders waiting on, and that's what they've been tearing up lately, right? So public companies face additional compliance burdens and must ensure that sufficient time and energy continues to be devoted to running and growing the business, right? A successful reverse merger can increase the value of a company's stock and its liquidity. Very simple, right? And I say simple because it's a glorified value of a what? Of IPO, where again, the retail investor obviously ultimately in the end gets more what? Opportunity. And the private company now gets a what? A nice pool of money that they can pull from the work, go R&D their business with, right? Or do some M&A inside their company, right? In terms of the business, it doesn't change structurally. It's just that now you have a bigger, umbrella over you, basically, right? So it's important. So again, I'm gonna post a link to this right here. Y'all guys, you know how to look this up yourself, but I'm gonna post in the back chat anyway. So if you want to go deep into understanding what is reverse merger and the importance of it, go do some little research on it. Go, go dig, right? As we say, go surfing, right? Go get this knowledge, right? And then come back and see what some of these SPACs have to offer you, right? So going back to the ideal of the SPACs here, right? So SoftBank, of course, in this case, like I say, they're looking to, drop their first one and looking to do two more after it, right? So again, details of actions previously reported, Goldman Sachs and Citigroup are lead managing the process, right? With the SPAC intended to buy a company in which SoftBank has not previously invested. Right? So the SPAC sponsor will be SoftBank. The sponsor will be who? SoftBank. Right? That's like Sister Monica when she does, the donations, right, for the scholarships, right? If she now enacts that scenario as the sponsor, somebody that she gave a donation to obviously wants to come underneath her brand and start to, go out there and share some of that same love and share with other people, get them started. And they come back and say, well, hey, can you just, bankroll us and let us continuously, to bring in more. Then, it's kind of like that. For lack of better words, right? Kind of like that kind of scenario, right? So, which manages the 100 billion Vision Fund and Vision Fund 2 unknown size funded entirely from SoftBank's balance sheet, right? So this is going to be interesting. Again, they're going to probably bring in a lot of money, right? Now, SoftBank has never before raised a SPAC, but it did have portfolio company Open Door agree in September to be acquired by a SPAC at a what? 4.8 billion enterprise value, right? It also recently lost a pair of partners to Gore's Group, and where they'll focus on SPAC. Now this one right here. That's why I got slight in my tone when I saw that. Open Door. Are you guys familiar with Open Door? Anybody familiar with Open Door?
No, never heard of it.
When I show it to you, I'm like, oh, right? And then especially you, Over Chris, you go like, oh, right? You probably have it. It didn't really dawn on you, right?
Yeah.
But that's it right there. Open Door is an online real estate company that's based in San Francisco. It makes as the cash office of property sellers. See, online process improves repairs and properties and purchase and relist them for sale. Open Door is the new what? DoorDash of retail. They're the Uber of real estate, right? They're the
Now we talking.
Right. They're the Amazon of what? Right? Hopefully to be of what? Real estate.
Right.
Right? And guess who? One of their bankrollers.
Simon.
I know you think about Simon Prodigal. Individual. This is an individual. Our homie too.
You talking about Chapman? Who?
Shamat.
Yeah. That's our homie.
Palaha Patil is one of the big bankroller behind Open Door.
Nice. I needed that. Good one. That's a good one.
Right? And I'm finna drop some more Jews, right? So that's why you want to write Open Door down, right? Because Open Door is also getting ready to what?
Go public.
Here's why Open Door could be such a great long-term investment. Open Door, leading digital platform for residential real estate to become credit follow complete transaction here. Let's click on it. With who? Y'all see that right there? What does that say? Somebody see that there? Is it showing my screen or is it not? Okay. Yeah.
Social Capital, Hito Sophia second.
Hedo Sophia, the second. Y'all know who Hedo Sophia is?
Mm-mm.
It has to do very dear and close to our brother Shamat. Shamat actually owns this company. This is his SPAC. He has controlling interest in Open Door too. Y'all see what's about to happen here? Y'all follow me now?
Got you. So,
am I picking y'all attention?
Social
Y'all
Capital.
like Kevin Candy here. Now you got my attention, right?
Yeah. So Social Capital is taking Open Door through the SPAC. Basically to go
Bam.
private through what's his name?
The founder of the SPAC in itself is Shamat Palahar Patel.
Shamat. Yeah,
and he owns controlling interest in Open Door too.
Wow.
That way he can have a monopoly without being penalized for it. Ooh, true story. That's why SoftBank finna get in the game. They late. They scrambling to get in the game now. Banks are scrambling to get in the game now, right? They was shut down anyway because they couldn't do that because of the what? The Fed reverse repo operation, agreements that they was under because of the COVID, right? They just got paid up Friday.
Yep.
Y'all see how that worked? So Social Capital head of Sophia the second is going to bring Open Door to the market.
I need that link over. Need that link. Need that link.
Right? Already. Already. Right? I'm gonna throw it off in the group and I'll throw it off in the on the back chat. So y'all know I'm always gonna connect a dot or two now. I ain't on here for nothing now. We're gonna connect a dot or two, at least one or two now. But are y'all following me here though?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
And y'all know the real estate market is starting to what? Boom. It's been booming. It's been booming
interest rates.
Summer.
Oh yeah, been getting it in.
And Open Door been around. Open Door has been around. They are that retail real estate environment. So you think it comes like Lennar, right? Because remember I just traded Lennar, earnings long, make that good little bag on that. You think about KBH Home, right? You think about Toll Brothers, right? Home builders and all the people that Open Door is kind of like, man, look, start to finish kind of scenario, right? As you saw when we read their kind of their little bio, right? And they finna get this kind of bag behind them. What's stopping Social Capital head of Sophia from coming in and saying, "Yeah, we might try to make a bid for what?" KBH Home now, lit on now. Who knows? So Open Door Labs, online homes marketplace, and pioneers in iBuying, and Social Capital head of Sophia Holdings. Again, so I'm dropping a little something. Anytime y'all see something with a holding behind it going forward, what y'all gonna do? Stop and look at it. Yep. Any holding company that you see going forward, you better stop and look at it. If it seems to be worthy, or especially if it's if it pop on you up on your scanners, right? If it shows up on your screeners, take a look at it, because it might be a part of a SPAC or getting ready to be a part of what? A merger of a SPAC. We just went over one in training the other day, Thursday, did we not? Over Chris? We went over what? Remember that one, Presidio? What it called? Presidio?
Yeah.
That retail company? That was a holdings company. A holding trust company. We went over that one, and we went over that company, SFQT. It was SFQT or SQTL. It was one of the others. Same scenario. That's why these holding companies are starting to pop, guys. Right? So, and guess what? Most of them have options. And they're trading at $2 a share, $3 a share, $10 a share with options.
That's crazy.
Think about GLSI, that cancer play, and SLS. Some of them starting to trying to form this idea with mergers and stuff now to get inside SPACs. Them stocks went from, y'all saw it, $7, $8, what, $3 to $4 all the way up to like 40 something, $50. some crazy number. And they had options. Some of them got options. So you was in on an option. You just bought a $7 out of money call. Didn't even know this was gonna be your day, right? On a reverse merger SPAC deal merger, and the stock ran to $49 a share on a $7 call option. Man, you finna get your assault rifle and be at the door. Like, look, I about to come out door about no money. Who's about to show up in my door? So I owe somebody some money. We got paid, right? So again, SCH, right? Now, y'all see this right here? This is important because you gotta know. When you go look up SCH, don't get caught up in us. So you need to go strictly to the ticker symbol because they may have one that's already for the company too, if they are publicly traded. But you need to find a specific SPAC that is detailed for that merger, right? So in this case, it's what? IPOB, right? IPOB is the SPAC, right? That we're going to be looking at tomorrow. Why tomorrow?
Because it said it's a good Monday.
See how that works? See how that works? You got to follow the what? Follow the money. And these SPACs are popping. Look at this SPAC here. Right? You see what's going on here. Look at the monthly chart. $18. 1 month, it's up to 30. And they're getting ready to do what?
Merge.
Bring in their open door to the market. Right? Here's why they popped it, 12%. So, right? It's getting ready to go down. Right? 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 So if you have a special interest in real estate, you want to be looking at what? This holding company. You might like the company open door too, but guess what? Guess who now in charge of them, right? This social what? Social capital head of Sophia. Right? So you think about the idea, right, of those who are in charge, right? Can y'all see my screen still? Is it showing? Can y'all see it?
Oh, my bad. Let me look. Yep, I see it.
Yeah, we're doing some due diligence right now, right? So IPOB, Social Capital Head of Sophia, Holding Corp. II, institutional ownership and shareholders. CEO and chairman of the board is who? Shamat Patel. Guess what he just did? Go ahead.
I said, yeah, let's get it.
Real estate and what? And managers. Guess what he just did Friday, guys? He sold 38 million shares, I believe, 38 million shares of his Virgin Galactic Holdings.
Ooh, yeah, I seen that on CNBC.
Freed up about $100 million, so he can now invest in what? His own company, which he owns a good controlling share in that SPAC, in Virgin Galactic with Richard Branson, but his own company, this social capital head of Sophia, so they can turn around and put more money, controlling interest in who? Open door. These people be moving money around like, look. Look at the institutional ownership in this, 62%. That's a good amount. For y'all probably didn't know about this little company. Well, a lot of us don't, right? Until we find out about how this stuff work, right?
Yep.
Again, how big is the retail? I keep wanting to say retail, real estate market right now. They're booming. I got some small real estate coming. I'm gonna also share with y'all tonight. Again, this is not investment advice. I'm just sharing my opinion. This is edutainment and edutainment only, right? Do your own due diligence before you invest in anything. But again, y'all know how we work over here. We just broadening your horizon, your ideas. Again, we talked about one this past Thursday in a trainer episode. I mean, you was in there, brother Chris. We talked about Presidio, right? Holding company. And people like Wyatt Pop. We talked about Mero, Mero. That was another one that popped Friday. Right? Came out of Thursday after I was into Friday trading session. Both of them popped. Right? One of them is a property trust. I repeat, one of them is a property trust. Fed just came out previously and said, what? We keep it interest rates at what? Basically zero for the next 2 to 3 years. What is that going to do to the housing market? It's going to boom. And when people get back, man, look, okay, let me just be quiet. Let me just be quiet. Right? So again, let me post this in the back chat. You know, everything we source, we gonna share it, right? Everything that we source, we're gonna share it, right? Y'all know how we do over here. Right? Everything we're gonna share. So when you go back and do your own due diligence, right, you're gonna be able to keep up what's going on here. Again, Open Door is going to bang. It's going to bang. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna snatch up a lot of little smaller ones, you know, inside their little, you know, that little space eventually, or they're gonna want to be a part of it, right? I'm pretty sure of it, right? And so just looking at some of the controlling interests here, they got some people that's, you know, locked up in here, right? They want in, right? They want in, right? And a lot of these guys, I guarantee they've been adding ahead of this what? Open Door what? SPAC IPO. If you don't believe me, look at these dates. Y'all see that right there? 12, 18, 20, right? NPFB GRX, Fidelity Blue Chip Growth Fund, in there. They bought several times. They bought the large cap growth fund, and they bought their blue chip series, and their regular blue chip one, and their blue chip. They just been snatching up them shares. Virtue Finance, Capital, Salad, John, all the other names, whatever. Northwestern Mutual Fund, of course, it makes sense with them, right? Northwestern Mutual insurance scenarios, right? These people snatching up these things. Look at all these people here coming in after the fact, right? Some of these 13 D filers probably came out and they was like, you know what, I'm going to get ready because these people talking about the SPAC stuff. And, you know, especially in the real estate side of the house, real estate market being good, look, they probably didn't think twice. Let me buy me some shares too, right? Let me get me some of them shares too, right? So again, just one. So I again, connecting the dots, right? This is how you hunt, right? This is how you hunt. Now SPACs, right? Getting back to the idea of SPACs, right? Or, you know, the idea of the importance of, you know, these SPACs, right? Right. So again, SoftBank, they coming, right? SoftBank is coming, right? So we already know what's going on with that. Be prepared. Keep this one on your radar in terms of, you know, the idea of, you know, when they start kind of detailing what they're going to do with their SPAC scenario, or the type of companies that they're going to have within that, you want to make sure you follow that, because they got what? They really got a unlimited checkbook, right? An unlimited checkbook, right? So it's important to keep that in mind. Now let's go with some of the active SPACs out there. Now we're going to get down to some nitty gritty. We kind of got an idea what SPACs are. Of course, it's going to require some more digging. I'm just trying to do a quick microwave version because I don't have a lot of time. But so far, so good. Are you guys keeping up with me so far? Do you guys understand at least enough at this point?
100.
How say you pound on that song, kid? Are you understanding a little bit, Sister Mo?
Yes.
Over Chris?
Absolutely.
Over Brandon?
Oh, 100%.
If you're not, we're going to go wait till you get it. Y'all know how we do over here, right? This is real deal, right? Everybody in the back chat, you got questions, throw it in there. We're going to answer. So the importance of SPACs, right? These are the new ETFs. They are the new ETFs that we've been seeking to be a part of, or the new IPO values of a merger, reverse mergers that we can now get in. And the stock is already publicly traded. So you know the next day it can't jump up and go from what? $29 to 100 and one gap up. Like an IPO, right? They priced the IPO at $17. It opened up for the retail market at 88. What? Like, bruh, ain't no way to chase that. Right? You had all your money already.
Like, these are companies we can take a position in and just wait.
Whoop, whoop. This is still a young market. Your major players haven't even got in yet. Your major players haven't even got in yet. Think about that. Right? So you have just as much as opportunity. And again, some of these SPACs that we finna go over now, y'all finna see exactly what I'm talking about. Right? And again, I threw this together every bit about a day and a half, not even a full day. Because I think Sister Deshonda asked that question yesterday, so it wasn't even a full day. Right? So this is the research I was able to do like in that bit of time. I kind of knew about a little bit about SPACs already, but not, going into detail like this right here. This is how we rock. Right? This is how we rock. Right? So let's go to the active SPAC list. So y'all gonna see what's popping, what kind of money is already out there, right? And what else is obviously viably that we need to kind of pay attention to. So we already know about the open door SPAC, right? That's why I went to that one specifically, because that's one coming to market. What day? When is open door coming to market? Monday.
Yeah.
That is tomorrow. Tomorrow. Shamat sold 38 million shares between Thursday and Friday of Space Virgin Galactic, so he can put money into this. All right, let me move on. So quick SPAC market stats, right? SPAC track list active and pre-IPO SPACs. As of now, there are a total of how many IPOs year to date that came out on the SPACs?
242.
242. How many of y'all knew that?
We behind.
See how that worked? And some of y'all probably traded one of them companies here and there, just didn't know what it was. See, so you might just trade it, just didn't understand it, right? So total raised capital year to date, right? YTD, right? Meaning year to date, how much? 80 billion, basically 81 billion, round it up. All that money been traded out there, and y'all didn't even know about it. Shame on y'all. Shame on y'all. Right? And 242 of this 282 total came to market this year. That's crazy. It's over 40. Look at it was only 40 of them out there. It was only 40 of them out there in the essence that of a holding company that had that kind of value, of SPAC value. And then everybody said, oh, let's ride. $88 billion worth of total trust size out there. That's a key word. See that word right there? It's called what? Trust. That means the type of holding company or a trust, right? Presidio trust, real estate trust, right?
Right.
Property trust. Y'all say that word? Right. So total SPACs, obviously, you see, in this case right here, total trust size, in this case, 71 billion. LOI, I'm not quite sure what LOI is. I'm gonna do some more research on that. Definitive agreement, meaning this is stuff that they agreed to. Obviously, at this point, 16 billion at that point, and pre-IPO, 34 of them right now in pre-IPO phase. Right now, they raised over $6 billion waiting to come to market. These people ready. These companies are already on the block at this point too. Go ahead, sis.
Oh, I say publicly traded.
Yeah, they already on the block. Some of these tickets, some of y'all probably gonna be like, I ain't gonna go through all of them. Of course, we just kind of going over, the idea of what's going on with some of these places, some of these trades are already out, that's popping right now, and some of their prices. Right? Trust value from last filing. Look at that. Out of the gate. Archer's acquisition.
Oh wow, that's why you want Draft King and Diamond Eagle.
724 million in that trust value that filing for that SPAC. 944 billion market cap. God, y'all kidding me. $10 a share. Undervalued. Undervalued. 100% undervalued. Obviously, viably that we need to kind of pay attention. So let's go over here really quick. Like I said, we ain't gonna go over all of them. We're just gonna go over a few because y'all gonna get this list and y'all gonna go grind, do your own research, right? Look at this stock. I've seen this stock too, of course. Whatever. $10, right? This thing for the entire year was doing like this. Look here. It went what? It was just a nothing burger, right? It was up 20, of course, in September a little bit, right? But then it,
Flatline.
And now they finna start getting what? Some price action or some liquidity, as the SPAC value said, right? And then the tech set. So it depends on what they have with inside of their tech, SPAC scenario, because you still got to do the research and figure out what's in there. But again, that market cap, right? That means they got to have some cash flow. They got a market cap like that. They can't be that. Look, you just don't have that kind of cash flow, market cap, and be just, crazy in debt to the point where somebody won't even want to put you inside of, a scenario where they can even put you in the SPAC scenario. So that's important, right? That's important, right? So again, just kind of looking at some of the things, 310 million, right? Right? They deal with what? Consumer and retail, car lots, right? Car lots inside of that. See there? Target company if deal announced. See car lots? Scenarios like that. Branded consumer goods, tech, digital media, entertainment, just some of the names here. Of course, you guys see it. And the sizes of their stock. Look at all the price of these stocks. They're sitting at what? $10, $10. Not saying go invest all of them. Go do your research. Figure out which ones have the best opportunity, right? But look at the prices though. Still dirt cheap. Tech sectors, whatever, right? $12, $13 stocks, $10. Healthcare, AHAC. I mean, when this here popped off, right? Look here. Found invested in Facebook, Uber, ByteDance, Twilio, Unity, Snowflake. This guy right here, the founder, Brad Jessner, he didn't look, and he trying to do it what? Tech. It's pre-IPO.
He loaded.
He got all kind of experience.
Yeah.
It ain't came to market yet. So AGCB, pre-IPO, Growth Corp 2, Alameda is the company's name is in. Founder already got an amazing resume track record, and they coming to the market with what? 200 million for the tech sector.
Looking that up.
Right? I mean, it's a litany list, a long laundry list of opportunity. I mean, some of these companies, founders got amazing track record. Right? As you see that Chipotle, and the size of the what? The money they got on hand, the war chest, the price of the stock, dirt cheap. Some of them are already pre-IPO, some of them are already, still trading, getting ready to, get right. So again, do your research course, but you get a chance to dig now.
No, I just want the stone.
See what I'm saying? So some really, really good opportunities here, guys. Dig through it. Jeff Epstein. Jeff Epstein. Former CEO of who? Oracle. Who is Jeff Epstein? Right? Now, the name y'all already get it, right? Y'all know what's going on there, right? Right? So like, you mean is that buddy from so and so?
Isn't he dead though?
Is that the same dude? No, it's not the same dude. But it's probably a brother, cousin, somebody like that, right? Probably a cousin. I guarantee you, probably a cousin. Got to be, right? How many Epsteins y'all know? Right?
Not Trump Epstein. This is a different Epstein.
Yeah, hold up, man. No, that's him right here. This Jeff Epstein here, right? This Jeffrey Epstein here, right? But this probably the cousin. I guarantee it's probably the cousin. Y'all know them names. Y'all know them Steens. Y'all know them Jewish names. Don't play. Y'all know they. You know they related. right? But anyway, nonetheless, again, the guy was what? CFO of what? Oracle, ex-CEO of Oracle. So of course he know about, you know, business and, you know, things of that nature, right? So very important to realize that within that SPAC there, of course, in this case, let me go back to that. What makes this important? Because again, we're talking about tech and software internet. What better person to head that than a person who was at the former CEO of what? Oracle. Look at the war chest. 353 million. 640 million. Tech software internet. Avport, one of the companies. Avpoint, excuse me. This little stock right here already done banged up a little bit. It already done made a couple of moves here and there. Right? It was trading at about, gosh, I want to say about $9 to $10 last month. And now it's already up here near 14 because this whole SPAC movement is starting to take off. Yes, look at the 6-month chart. Look at the 6-month chart. Y'all see that right there? True story. This thing will bottom out around about $10 ever. That's how holding companies trade. They trade just what? Sideways. That's what they do until something big come along. But in this case, now the SPACs is a new thing that helps them get the business, you know, get the type of business and acquisition that they need with a blank check. Oh, now they could do some things, right? That thing went from what? $9, $10 and shot way up here to 15. I remember when this stock took off that day. True story. Pull back now, consolidate. As you can see there. All right. And it's dealing with it, you know, some of them same scenarios we just talked about. Cloud, Microsoft Cloud partner, AvePoint going public, right? Under who? APTX. As you see right here, clear as day. Right? Clear as day. Now this company that gain liquidity through, again, you know, and capital, right? Clear as day here. Right? So again, so I mean, you guys getting, I ain't trying to whatever, but you know, so we're trying to figure out, you know, the importance of these SPACs and how they're starting to catch all this, you know, this new money. This is what's happening. And this is how you guys can get into the game without having to go again be priced out on the traditional IPO market. When these companies are already in the game, you can already go check their financials, you can go check their chart, technical analysis aspect. You can go put all that stuff together and figure out what, you know, can a $400 million blank check do for this company? Well, apparently a whole lot, right? In a lot of cases. Not just for the share price, but look again, these share prices are all uniformly $10, $9, $10, $9, $13, $14. You'll see none of them on here 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and $100. All around the same price, excuse me. Right? All of them around the same price points. Right? This one right here, you might want to pay attention to. I'm finna bring special attention to it for a reason. Y'all see this one right here? Can y'all see my screen right there? I forgot to just stream Zoom day. This BFT. I'm pretty hinting. I'm hinting right now. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Let me post in the back chat. Let me post in the back chat because Joker like, man, look, man, hold up. I'm winking right now.
I think I've seen that one before.
Yeah, probably have too. Yeah. I got some in my eyes right now. Forgive me. That's why I'm blinking like this right here. Forgive me. I got some in my eyes right now. There's a dollar sign up in there somewhere. I think like old eyelash up in there. That BFT, you might want to pay attention to that one. Trusted me acquisition portfolio definitive agreement already in the works. Pay safe, right? So we talk about having to do with some kind of what? Fintech, banking, whatever, right? You see what's got here? The guy, the CEO, obviously, you know, dealing with, you know, a couple little things, banking and owner of the what? Golden Knights little hockey team. How much is that SPAC? $1 billion, 1.4 billion. They got 2.5 billion on the book value. Stock is at $13.92. And they're inside of a definitive agreement at this point. So let's go there, right? And they say, let's go there, right? Let's figure out, again, we're talking about these opportunities when they come in. And some of them are actually, again, structured. Some of them may even have dividends already. I mean, look, these things getting ready to, really, really set a precedence, right? So let's run over here really quick here. Again, we're going to get ready to close it off in a minute. I ain't going to be on here too long. Because I just want to kind of go in and touch on the idea of some of the, these scenarios, right? So this one here just came somewhat to market, right? Just came to market, so to speak, right? As we saw with, reading that, the details of that SPAC. So really quick here, let me run right over here. Really quick. Foley Tresemme Acquisition Corp 2, right? Or the second, right? Bill Foley, right? Owner of the Las Vegas Golden Knights hockey team, worked at First National Bank, whatever. They brought a $1.4 billion SPAC to market. 1.4 billion, right? 2.5 billion being in total value that at this point. SPAC IPO released on the 12th of October at $9.64. Literally 2 months later, it was up at $15 and change. Right? And now you see what's going on with the stock. So you could do, they got other stuff coming down the pipeline, of course. You can go do your research on it, but it's one of the founded ones out there you might want to look at because they got a nice little chunk of change. And they undervalued because if you got $2 billion value and your stock is on $9, $10, $13, by technical value of, earnings per share value, and depending on how many shares they have outstanding, actually it's kind of undervalued. A lot of them are undervalued at that value when the SPAC goes public, right? Because now they just gained that amount of money acquisition, right? Now they can work with at the price of their share value and the EPS. They're probably dealing with very low EPS or 4 EPSs. I'm pretty sure they like 9-time earnings, 6-time earnings, 7-time earnings. Some of them probably around 5 times earnings. Now that boost to cash gives them a great war chest to work with. A great war chest to work with. Right? And again, people are now starting to look at these SPACs are attractive, as we just saw with SoftBank and many others, and the banking industry starting to come into this space. All right. So again, just take it for what it's worth, do your own research. This is what this SPAC stuff is all about, right? This is what this SPAC stuff is all about. Right? Go read up on it. Right? Go read up on it. Right? I mean, you got all type of ones out there getting ready to just drop, again, think about how many are going to come out next year. When a lot of this money is beginning to move around a little bit, right? And all this, Fed liquidity getting ready to come into market. People get the vaccine, start back to work, whatever, get some kind of form of, some kind of gauge of what the GDP might look like with people going back to work a little bit, right? Some of these private companies now that, was able to kind of, turn their buddies on, hey, you might want to go get, listed with a SPAC or something. Now they can help these companies out, right? They can help them out, right? So again, I mean, just, again, I'm not going to go through all of them. Now, whoa. One more. I'm going to do one more. I had a lot of them lined up, but I ain't going to go through all these things, man. Y'all better put me to work. All right? Hint, wink, wink. Can y'all see my screen? Hint, wink,
Yep.
wink.
Yep.
Post that in the back chat. You said it's blurry? Brother Russell, you said it's blurry. Can y'all see my screen clearly?
We
Let me
can
know.
see it. Probably on his phone.
Yeah, that's probably his service.
It probably just check it. Says, let me know, C. Russell. Hint, wink, wink. BTWN. Right? Breaking news. Congress just passed
Boom.
Congress just passed
$1,200 check.
that would be nice, right? We know them old skanks ain't gonna do that much, you know.
Yeah, right.
It just passed the bill, guys.
That's good. Why not?
They just passed it. It took forever, right? Oh,
Yeah.
stinking behind Joker. Well, they agreed to. Let me take that back. They agreed to.
Final.
They agreed to $900 billion.
Damn, man, they couldn't go up 100
I
more.
know. You know that 1.4 was what everybody waiting on.
Yeah.
1.4 gave everybody $1,200 checks.
Dang.
They only gonna cut 600, so that's all right. We'll get maybe Biden gonna cut that check though. Y'all know Biden,
Let me
especially if
get
they win that Georgia runoff. they
let me
they win
get a
that
share of
Georgia
Black
runoff.
Rock, man. Get off the gate.
Go ahead. Uh huh.
Get
Go
one
ahead.
share of Black Rock. See? You remember when I told you?
Oh, you talking about? Okay. Yeah,
Chris,
Oh, my
yeah.
bad.
on mute.
My bad.
Oh, okay. No, okay. Yeah. So that's man. Look, they again. When if they win Georgia, of course, in terms of they winning Democrats, if they win that special runoff down there, man, y'all already know they're gonna cut y'all a check. They're gonna cut y'all a check next year. That's what Republicans scared of. That's why they're trying to compromise it the last hour. This has been a one big chess move. This has been a one big 4D chess move back and forth. And in the end, Democrats got more leverage over them at this point because they have a favorability value potentially winning out Georgia. They win Georgia, it's gonna be a wrap for Republicans. They don't want to be looked at the bad guys or the Grinch who stole Christmas. They trying to come up with some kind of idea to save face at this point. Because if they let the government get shut down, who's going to be blamed for it? Democrats or Republicans? You're going to blame both of them, but ultimately, Republicans going to carry most of the weight because but I forgot the Heroes Act was on Mitch McConnell's desk going back as far as what, June, July,
Yep.
collecting dust. He refused to look at it. He refused to put it before the Senate on the Senate floor. Even when Trump was starting to be a little bit more desperate around July and August, and he was catching heat. He was like, he was kind of hinting that maybe it should be more anyway in terms of payments to the American citizen, at least $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
And they kept brushing off, and he didn't, crack the whip, and they didn't. So now this last hour, not everybody desperate, right? But it hurts Republicans more if they don't come up with something and let the government get shut down than it does actually Democrats because they got the president, right? But anyway, we'll let them iron out that. We're going to get our own money, right? They don't stop our show.
Well,
right?
Mitch McConnell, man, he just stubborn, man. That's a stubborn old white man.
He dusted with it. No, he dug in like a Carolina tick, as they say.
He got
right?
his. He said, "You go get yours."
Yeah, So, great thing we got this skill set right here because you know what? Let them play around, right? Let them keep playing around. We still gonna keep what? Keep eating. We're gonna keep eating, right? So, like I said, this one here, BTWN, tech, financial services, so fintech, or media sectors in Southeast Asia, right? This one here, keep y'all on it.
Yes, sir.
They got a massive investor in them. A massive investor in them. Sam Altman already, a baller, right? He's the director of Reddit, right? Head of private investments, Matt Danzian.
Total time 37 minutes.
Yeah, then this guy right here, Peter Thiel, or Peter Thiel, however you want to pronounce it, right? You might want to, keep your eye on BTWN, right? From my mouth to your ears, put a lock on it. Y'all didn't hear it from me.
Excuse yourself.
Right? Oh, Chris, I think your mic open, brother.
Oh, my bad.
You're going in back. So
Hey,
again, BTWN, keep your eye on it. Right?
You said Peter Tillman?
Peter Thiel. Or Thiel, spelling out, TH, THIEL. He's a well-known investor.
Was he one of the founders of PayPal?
Sound familiar, I believe so.
Oh, you talking about the Palantir dude?
I could be wrong, but I think so. Because I know he did with Palantir. I'm familiar with him, Palantir. So, yep.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
co-founder PayPal and Palantir, right? And Founders Fund, of course, and like I said, fund manager. Peter Andreas, Theo, billionaire, obviously a billionaire.
Right.
But I know him from, he's been on CNBC several times too, right?
Yep.
Several times. He worth about 5.3 billion, somewhere around there, give or take. But I know him strictly through Palantir, right? And I know he had other stuff out there too, but mainly Palantir because again, it was a big, a lot of exposés done about him, especially over the summertime. Even leading up into Palantir before they went IPO. Remember, I was talking about Palantir when they get ready to go IPO. Y'all want to watch Palantir, right?
Oh yeah.
Government contracts, right? He was getting a lot of those government contracts, right? That now turned the military. He was able to procure those, and that's how I got wind of him, through that scenario too. But yeah, so again, he got his little fund. He got him a little SPAC. They got a little SPAC going, with that BTWN, right? So definitely keep an eye out for that one. So that one, it rocketed, and it went crazy. Actually, it went from $10 all the way up to like $26 in one day. When it came to market, when it became relevant that it was going to have that SPAC, that BTWN, right? Look what the stock did. Of course, you gotta let it kind of settle out. Of course, you see what it did. It went from like $9 or $10, basically, mid tens, all the way up to like $25, $26. And then it, whatever, right? Came at Earth, and now it's at 13. Now it look more, look like it's, it got some, some bearings with itself, right? About itself, I should say. All right. So again, I mean, guys, you guys got some good stuff. I mean, I can go through a few more, but ultimately, when you do your research with some of these SPACs, you got to go figure out what makes a successful SPAC. The type of makeup within that holdings company or that capital allocation acquisition corp or whatever you want to call it, because it's going to be underneath a corp, right? Corp is obviously, y'all know what's going on with a corp, right? Especially Sister Monica, because you can speak to that, right? We're talking about these corps, right? Right? S corp, C corps, and corporations, LLCs, DBAs, holding company, property trust, right? The importance of them is very, it's good to understand that. Another one, CCIV, right? I'll end on that one, right? I end on CCIV, right? It's in talks right now, unconfirmed talks with DirecTV per Bloomberg, right? Y'all see what's going on with that, right? DirecTV. Michael Klein, former CEO of Citigroup Markets and Banking, he's the top of that SPAC. They got a $2 billion war chest, $2.5 billion war chest. 2.5, Churchill Capital Corp. It's a level 4 corp. It's a level 4 corp, CCIV, right? As my brother Yurima Karama would say, look it up, right? Right? Look it up. See what happened when it came out. It banged out. They dumped it, and now they trying to play it back up a little bit. We'll see. Right? We shall see. Oh, I wasn't even sharing my screen. God dog it.
Dang, I was wondering what you was reading.
Right, I'm just going in like I always do. Y'all know them old young men. Right? CCIV, right? So again, nice little war chest they got over here. And they got a subsidiary too. They got CCIX. And they got a CCV. As you see, they got several. They ain't playing the game. They ain't playing the radio, boy. They all over the place. Right? They got 5 or 6 courts all in there. So again, some of these things, like I said, you probably have seen them and just to understand what was going on. Well, this is why. This is what was going on with them. And so there are some ones out there that are, like I say, that are, been getting a lot of attention. Right? Some of the top ones out there. Right? Now, I'm gonna share this real quick and we get ready to wind it down here in a second. Here's a little small list. Again, you can do your research behind, and again, everything that we're sharing is just, it's speculative, right? So we talked about BFT, right? We talked about BFT, right? We talked about APXT, right? These are some of the top ones out there kicking butt where they're getting a lot of attention, right? BFT, APXT, and PSTH, right? You go look these individual fact scenarios up, do your research, figure out whether or not it works for you or you don't, or it might lead you down a deeper rabbit hole. That's what this is all about, right? The research is lead you down, deeper rabbit holes, right? And so they're hot right now for a reason. Some of them obviously over others, but a lot of their prices are very attractive. Some of their prices are very attractive, right? PST was at 21, right? It shut up and hit like they're 28, right? And starting to kind of hang out around this little 20-day moving average here, ping off the bottom of it. We'll see if that turn out to be worth anything. We can definitely do some more, scouring to see whether or not, if they were or not. All right, we talked about BTWN. What's the other one? It's like another one too. We talked about what's the other one I had pulled up here? I want to share real quick here. Thank y'all again. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. Thank y'all for being patient. I know y'all more or less listening, and we're doing a whole lot of talking back and forth, but I definitely want to get some of this stuff in while I can. Again, APXT, BFT, again, GHIV. That's one. Also, hint, hint, wink, wink. Hint, hint, wink, wink. GHIV. Check out NGA and PTAC. Right? Yep. So let's get them in. GHIV, right? Right? We got NGA, right? Let me think. Oh, hold on. It didn't do it right. Come on, keyboard. All right, so NGA, right? And we got PTAC, right? Again, do your own research, and hope it'll turn out, turn out to be something valuable for you. I'll just say it as that, right? All right. Now, the interesting part within that is that all mergers are expected to be completed by what? Q1 of 2021. You can catch the warrants early and the asset early if this is something that you might want to partake in. The warrants and the stock early if this is something that you might be interested in. If they got mergers waiting to happen, that means that's more what? Acquisition. And some of them are already growing. They already got some of them underneath their belts, and they still finna pick up some more people or some more private companies. That's going to increase that corp, trust, holding company, again, war chest exponentially by not putting that new accrued value on their books of that private company, which obviously, successfully will obviously increase the share value based upon the market cap value. Supposedly, it'll still be undervalued because it's happening overnight, which typically takes some companies, years to get to that point. But market cap, balance, and EPS, this stuff is happening overnight for these companies. So out the gate, they're going to be appearing as undervalued with all that money on their books now. Like literally, they were maybe sitting there maybe around about a 10-30 million market cap. Wake up the next day, now they worth 100 billion. Excuse me, 100 million. 100 million, something like that. A billion in some cases for some companies. Joker be like, what? Like we can buy a lot of bubble gum with this, right? We can get paid. And so that's what a lot of these companies now are going to be that's what they're gonna be doing. They're gonna be making bigger moves now. Right? So y'all got some. So last question. Somebody asked, "What is a warrant?" Right? Somebody asked me, "What is a warrant?" I think Sister Sunday also asked that question. What is a warrant? Right. So a warrant. Let's go there.
How can we bomb too?
Right. What is a warrant? Anybody want to tackle what a warrant is? We know a little bit. We ain't all over there yet. Anybody want to tackle what a warrant is? By the chance.
I know it's similar. It's similar to a stock option. It's not like it's similar to a stock option. It's not really a common share. Uh,
Right.
yeah, something like
You're
that.
right. You're on
I
the
was
right path.
reading like, yeah.
Right. That's it. You're on the right path. So basically, what a warrant is, right? A stock warrant is a financial contract between a company and what? Investors, right?
Hmm.
So this obviously, kind of separates us from going straight to SIBO, right? Because SIBO is pretty much holder of these options on the option side. But then you're going to get it straight. You're going straight to what? Straight to market. As we say, direct to market. You're going straight to the company. The company going to issue it to you,
Right.
right? All right. That gives the investor the option to purchase the company stock at a specific price and by a specific what? Date. Kind of that synonymous to that of what an option is, right? To a degree, right? But also we know there's a subtle difference, right? A
Hmm.
stock warrant allows the holder to receive newly issued stock, right? Newly issued, especially when a company goes bankrupt and then they come back to market. Scenarios like that, those are some of the scenarios like that too, right? All right, newly issued stock from the same company that provided the warrant, right? So while the warrant expires at a certain date, the investor is still allowed to make the stock warrant purchase via common stock. You just take advantage of a hold of the stock at a later date if he or she does or he or she chooses, excuse me. Meaning obviously before that warrant, expires, right? You got up to that warrant expiration date. And most people always dump their warrants right before the expiration date. Maybe a flood of them, they'll right back on the market. Right. So that's why it's important. If you buy the warrant, know that expiration date. And a lot of these SPACs right now are gonna have warrants that's gonna be stressed out a little bit because they're gonna be issuing new shares with these reverse mergers. They're gonna get new shares. That smaller company gonna get absorbed into the bigger one. They're gonna issue new shares, and now because of that, you get a new set of warrants. That's gonna have a little bit more timely expiration date, and the stock gonna bang, the warrants gonna bang right behind them for a much cheaper price, of course. Right. So just keep that in mind. So of course you got opportunity to buy the common shares itself, and you can turn around and buy the warrants too if you so choose. Because they're definitely gonna give you a big bang, if they already trading again literally peanuts on the dollar. An aspect to their their actual common share holdings in itself, right? It's common share holding value in itself. So again, a lot to work with, right? A lot to work with, right? We had a couple warrants that popped off yesterday. I say yesterday, Friday, in the market that just banged out and did really well, right? Matter of fact, let me pull up a couple more. A couple more of these warrants here, and then we'll close out here because the futures market getting ready to go live, right? We're getting ready to open up the futures market. We're gonna see what the futures are going to look like this evening ahead of this, this stimulus, whatever, right? Kind of seems to be obvious at that point they're gonna cut one, but we don't know what's gonna be the extent of how the market's gonna do it because we know that Europe right now is in turmoil, right?
Right.
And the market just opened up and we're up 50 points on the Dow US 30. Let me get over there really quick. Pause for the calls moment. Let's go see what the future market looking like, right? Pause for the call, right? Is it going to hold? We don't know. But as of now, again, markets are feeling optimistic because of what we came out of last week, Friday, with quadruple witching that brought a whole lot of money back into the markets after they cashed out a whole lot of money. Somebody didn't want to be on the sidelines, apparently, because when the market dipped the way it did through the quadruple witching, them just came in and bought the market crazily up. Almost criminal the way that they did it. I don't know if y'all saw it, but it was almost criminal. So we'll see whether or not they get this bill signed tonight, because if they don't get that bill signed tonight, all this junk that turn red, right? It's turning red a little bit now. So there we go. Already, right? And that was just a follow through from Friday because the market had so much momentum when it closed Friday due to the quadruple witching. And so it opened up obviously with a lot of that what implied money still had to get filled in. People came right behind it. What you're seeing now, they selling it off, right? They're selling some of that stuff off, right? And or taking profit, right? So it's going to kind of move around these same little prices for a little minute for everything balance out in terms of when the market pick us through direction. Whether some of these people who going to buy these future contracts tonight going to get really bullish ahead of this so-called bill signing, or they might not want to gamble quite yet on that deal. So nonetheless, it's moving, right? Nonetheless, the market is moving in that perspective. I mean, as y'all see there, right? All right. So really quick, what was I finna look up again? Really quick, what was I about to look up? So make sure I get this in. I want to make sure I cover everything I know I had in mind to cover, so I don't leave nothing out. Oh, that's what it was. Let me share this really quick, and this will be here. All right. So right here, let's go right here. Let me show you what I'm talking about for all some of these warrants. Y'all probably saw CYTH running last Friday, right? Its warrants were banging. Warrants basically went from, as you can see here, let me pull up my thing here. Get my little screen scenario up here. Their warrants were trading at $1.20 a warrant, right? It caught news of some merger news, whatever the case like that. It went all the way up to $3.50, almost near 300%. Basically, up near 300%. That's what warrants do during these scenarios on these SPACs. Obviously, announced merger news, whatever the case like that. The warrants instantly turns. And look at the expiration date. As you see it, it says what? 11/14. They probably expired on the 21st. Excuse me, 21st. 11/14/2020. I mean, you can go pull this warrant up and see for yourself specifically. But you see what I'm saying? So look here. You see the warrant over here and the actual stock, common share stock. See what I said? The warrants be a lot cheaper. $1.20 and it went to $3.50, right? The share price is ended up at what? $8.31 a share. It picked up what? 75% on the day. So obviously you could do the reverse, math on that. It sold off after hours because people taking profit going into the weekend, which is obvious, of course, right? People going, take the bag. But it was up 75%, on the regular trading session, right? On the regular trading session itself, right? Stock came from, I think, roughly around about $3 and some odd change, and went up as high as like near what, $8.70, near $9 a share, right? Near $9 a share, near $4 to $9 a share. So it almost basically went over 100%, between that previous day Thursday into the after hour session of Thursday into Friday, or Friday, from Friday into the into that into the after hour session scenario. So again, Kern is another one, right? That was a little warrant that was popping, right? It ended up selling off again on the back end of the day, right? But again, you're talking about little cheap little warrants. Again, this one here expired 2023, right? Way in 2023. Look how cheap it was. It was at what, 40 cents a warrant. It went up and hit a highs like around by 74 cents, almost 100% on that warrant. That kind of scenario, right? So, again, warrants are crazy, but, whatever. So we talked about some of the other companies like these trusts and whatever the case like that. So we talked about Presidio Property Trust. Part of a scenario where, again, might be introduced inside of a merger or a SPAC. We looked this one up, actually. We looked at MREO. That was another one we looked up. I mean, so again, you're going to start seeing a lot of warrants pop up on your scanners. You can be like, wow, these warrants popping up on my scanner. All these stocks ending with a W. Well, now you know why. Now you know why.
Oh man, I be on Webull and I be seeing like, man, what is these? And they do run,
right? Like what
they do run.
They've been running lately. It's all because of this SPAC craze. That's why they're running. Right? That's exactly why they're running. So now y'all, again, look at y'all for be ready now. Y'all for be, well, Joker ain't for be getting there. Now you can be like, okay, I see what's going on here. Let me do a little quick little research on this, see what's going on here. All right? So y'all can stay in the loop. Yeah, this one here ran after hours. Here's this THBRW, right? That little joker that ran after hours, right? It took off right at a time where, of course, not say right at a time where, but you know, they're probably trying to front load it. So this is after hours Friday, post market Friday, TBRW, right? Some little dirty little thin little volume traded, probably little warrant. But again, it bottomed out around about what $1.98 and shot up as high, up here at what 255. Right, so they might be trying to front load that. You can see how I kind of pull back and it's U-shaping up at this point. Consolidation may break out or it may break down, but nonetheless, somebody pumped it up after hours because look at this. It was at a low of $2 and shot all the way up to like 255. That's a nice little bag. 55 cents. What on a $2 stock? Right. In this case, a warrant. They trade very thinly in volume, but you find some of the ones that got pretty decent volume because of the fact that they picking up all this crazy business SPAC stuff. And you'll see exactly why people are now starting to flight to these different these little assets, because they want to be a part of reverse mergers, and their warrants are being, now reallocated for a much longer date under that new merger when they issue new shares, whatever, or issue, do all the allocation to be able to issue new shares. Those warrants are going to come alive, so you can sit in them for 2 or 3 years at dirt cheap prices. Of course, warrants fluctuate a lot; they go up and down. They're thinly traded for its volume, but if these SPACs hold up to be what they are in terms of, catching a bid because they doing more acquisitions, bringing in more companies underneath them, private companies, and they're growing the market. That's going to improve the warrants. So basically, you're going to hold those warrants not for the maturity date. You're going to hold them for the value of a good trade. When they pop, right, and then they hit a point where these are kind of way continuously overbought, you're going to sell and go and get out of them. You might have to piecemeal out the volume thinned out, but if you up, 3, 4, 5, 600%, 700%, of course, you ain't going to complain about that. So again, just do your research. Basically, my whole point of all of this: do your due diligence, right? Understand the lane that you're getting in, right? Because if you go out there and you're not familiar, and somebody says, "Hey, man, buy this here and buy it," no, that's not. Some of them are, not ready yet. They haven't what they call matured yet, right? So that's why it's important. So you got those one with definitive agreements with these different companies that they're going to bring, right? Those are the ones you want to look at. And then the ones that are pre-IPO, meaning they've already gone through all the rigmarole, and now they can get ready to launch. Of course, like we spoke about with Open Door. Open Door is getting ready to launch tomorrow. Right? They're getting ready to launch tomorrow on the IPOB. So make sure you keep your eye on that, again, on that particular little SPAC or whatever. Again, Sephora, Capital, was it Helios Sophia? The second, whatever the case, right? Right. So you could be a part of, again, probably something great. So this one here probably gonna bang tomorrow. We'll see. We shall see, right? But they on deck tomorrow to launch their Open Door SPAC scenario. Well, Open Door underneath their SPAC IPOB. Right. So get excited for that. Right. So we done covered a few things. Hope y'all got a little knowledge out of this, right? Because we did it on the fly, right? But that's how we roll, right? We do a lot of stuff on the fly. We're just trying to inform people, and then you take it from there and you go do the rest. But these SPACs are the hot tickets right now. They are the hot tickets, and some of them are still dirt cheap. And they got investors with big money coming into them every day. They want to be a part of them. It's a lot of people yet to come into it who are major players around Wall Street. They're late to the party. And keep in mind, these people got a lot of money like that, they hate being late because they always want to be ahead of everybody else. That's how they get the better investments. On the VC side, capital venture scenarios like that, right? B2B, peer-to-peer, whatever, to angel investing, they hate being late. They always want to be ahead of everybody else. So if they're late again, and the retail trader like me and you are early, what does that say about us, right? We good to go, right? We squared away. We just waiting for one of these big jokers to come in all late, and spaz out one of these little stocks, right? Either holding companies or property trusts or court, 4 court, 2 court, 3 court, whatever, 5 court, whatever, right? And take advantage of it. So yeah, y'all got the link here. It's called SPAC Track. This is the site. Again, it has a nice little publication. It's all neat and clean. You don't have all that pictures all over the place. Just keep it simple, right? Keep it very simple, right? So Blackstone. Hold on, is that my phone? Oh, I'm about to say my phone. Hot dog. Is that me? Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. So so go check it out. Again, SPACtrack.com or SPACtrack.net, I should say. Hold up. Hold up. Where is? I don't know what that is, but I'm trying to figure out why something. Okay, there it is. That's probably why. All right. Yeah. So anyway, see that we just talked about that, right? The Bill Foley's SPAC, right? That's that BTWN, if I'm not mistaken. Look at it. Blackstone and talks. It just popped off the wire about 1 hour ago, I guess. 1 hour ago. Get all that stuff off here. Somewhere around there. Yeah. So this is because it's showing the 21st. So this is European or Asian time. It's somewhere in the West over there. Or excuse me, the West, the East over there. So Blackstone and talks to merge alike with Bill Foley SPAC. See, people want to be a part of this now. Many people clamoring, they rushing to be a part of these SPACs. They rushing to be a part of these SPACs now because they late. Merge Allied Solution LLC with Foley's Trasimene Acquisition Corporate Blank Check Special SPAC, obviously. Firm backed by Bill Foley. Everybody know Bill Foley, fame, a fund manager merger would lead to a lot of benefits, administrative business, becoming a publicly listed firm at a valuation of more than $8 billion.
They're not getting rid of that money before the end of the year, huh?
Right. You see what they're doing because you know it. Tax loss harvesting is coming up.
Expense line items are shooting in the roof, and they're gonna make money afterwards.
Exactly. You get it, right? Right? You get it, sis. That's exactly what they're doing. They loading the boat now before tax loss harvesting season kick off. They're trying to get their stuff on the books so they can be protected, right? And whatever they're gonna trim, they done trimmed it already. Hence, that's why Shamat trimmed some of that space holdings that he had. He sold 38 million shares. And all I need to see that he was selling 38 million shares. Guess what I did? I bought some puts. I bought the puts right there on the space. I said, I'll take them and get them $25 puts. I'll take them. He's selling, I'm selling puts, right? Or buying puts, I should say. Right on behind. I'm following the money, even out the door. True story. Right. So it says a report citing unidentified people familiar with the matter talks may not lead to a deal, they said. But again, they're in talks. So y'all know how the market works. Just the fact that you're talking, investors get excited. They get slipper finger. They will just go to buying. Crazy, right? But we'll see, right? So again, these companies, these people are trying to be a part of these SPACs. They want in on what's hot. So definitely, again, do your research. Like I keep saying, hey, what's going on, Chris? The Peace Power Province, and you slid in the door. I'm going in a little bit. I'm trying to get all the information in while I can before I get off.
Peace, Power, and Profit, family.
Have to have you in the house today, getting it in. We're going over some of these SPACs. Blackstone, again, right there. There's an article there. Of course, companies and markets, business time. Again, they want in. Right? Bill Foley raised over $900 million since May. I mean, he kicking butt, taking names, right? Him, I think, and Bill Ackman, Shamat definitely finna catch up, especially with his Sephora Capital Hedos. What's it? Hesso? I'm about to mess the man name up. What's the name of that SPAC? It's called Social Capital. Excuse me, Hedo Sophia. I'm about to sound special. It's called Social Capital Hedo Sophia Holdings Corporations. right? They are, of course, the parent company of the Open Door SPAC listing that's looking to come to the market tomorrow, potentially if everything goes well, right? Real estate, real estate, real estate. Let me repeat, real estate, right? In a hot real estate market right now too, very hot real estate market, right? And so yeah, that's what it was. I said I was gonna mention a couple little ones to watch just in case they catch it. They catch a bid. This company right here, right? Let me share the screen here. I'm gonna log on off and go watch me some fishing shows since I can't go real fishing. All right, go watch me some fishing shows. This IVR, woo 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 woo, Gina. You might want to keep your eye on this one. It bottomed out around about $1.95. It hit a massive level of support there. As you can see that, kind of straight, almost like a flat line, flat line breakout from that point there. Even though you can have some kind of like, little pop modes underneath there, but we'll just say for the sake of understanding, hold all the marks. That $2 mark point, is very critical for this stock, right? And I say critical meaning, it's holding pretty well, at that area, right? Let me stop. What's this? Right, falls to support value, right? Hold on, let me pull this up here. Sorry. All right. So, and of course, this market in terms of real estate markets is very indicative of with us getting back to some kind of form of what normalcy with this old pandemic stuff. This bill that's going to come out this evening is also going to backstop a lot of what foreclosures, rents, unpaid rents, right? All this moratorium stuff is going to be backed by now if they sign it tonight. This news what spending bill. It's going to go to help some of these mortgages and landlords and so forth, and things that, and of course that whole issue of people can't pay rent. So it helps companies like Invesco Mortgage Capital, right? And there's others out there too, but this one here again, dirt cheap. I mean, I was seeing it again around $1.90. I saw it banging out around about $2.50, $2.60, and then it caught like a small little bid, right? On the first scenario when we got the vaccine news, it jumped up and did really well actually. We say that because again, we're talking about a little cheap little penny stock. All right, let me stretch the chart out. Then you can see exactly what I'm talking about. But it banged out, in or around the 20-day moving average around, 260, 270. At that point, the vaccine news kind of came about, and they had earnings, and they did really well on their earnings. I actually bought calls in the earnings. So keep in mind, they got options for it too. I bought calls into earnings. I remember posting it in our group, and you see what happened here. It gapped up. It gapped up from around 260, 270, ran up as high as like 255. Excuse me, 355. Right. So, of course, they're waiting on definitely stimulus news, and they're waiting on getting back to normal. Of course, the stock fell from, it fell from, $15 a share. Just keep you out. And I was only saying, only reason I'm mentioning this company, again, this is my opinion, and this is not me telling you to go and buy it. I'm mentioning it because all this SPAC stuff and these real estate SPACs and property trusts are starting to catch a little wind now. Maybe, just maybe IVR might do something. Who knows? Right? Who knows? Right? And it's dirt cheap, for the value for what it is, so we'll see. Right? Again, we shall see. Right? And again, just market cap sitting at around about $500 million. It pays a dividend. It pays a dividend. So 6% dividend, forward dividend at 6%. So roughly around about 20 cents a share, give or take, for a $3 stock. 20 cents, almost close to that, somewhere around the 20 cents a share. That's a good little bag for a scenario where, again, things getting back to normal at some point. Obviously, make sure the company ain't got any kind of toxic, binding scenarios on their books. Of course, like I said, it's still growing. They just beat on earnings, so that's obviously that says a lot, right? They beat their previous earnings. That says a lot. Then yeah, 20% yield. Yeah, 20%. Yeah, 20 cents. Excuse me, 20 cents yield. Yeah, that's pretty nice. All right, 1,000 shares, 20 cents on 1,000 shares. You do the math. All right, you do the math on that. But anyway, keep in mind, so if they happen to get with a SPAC or even start their own, who knows, whatever, then you got something to work with there, right? You may have something to work with. Just maybe, as they say, right? All right, guys, so I'm gonna get ready to shut it down. So I hope that was informative. I know it's like we're popping and pinging all over the place, but that's how this stuff is when you're trying to get some information, man. We're trying to move around a little bit and cover most of the bases of things that are relevant to what what we're looking to get out of it. Of course, all the links that you saw that we posted in the group, check them out. Again, the Open Door, the whole SPAC track, publication site in itself. Go check them out. Again, go learn about what's going on in and around with all these SPACs, basically. This new hot market, so to speak, right? The new crypto marijuana boom is the SPAC scenarios now, right? Everybody want to be a part of a SPAC, right? Well, our former GM executive quit to start a blank check SPAC. See, everybody running the SPACs, not everybody. You're gonna leaving boardrooms and other companies and running the SPAC, right? Again, we just talked about Open Door getting ready to pop off tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Tomorrow, right out the gate, right? So again, just go through this little list and play around with it. I mean, dig through and see what's happening, what's going on with some of these, potential deals, some of these potential, scenarios, what they, may or may not offer. Right? May or may not offer. Right? Just keeping up with, with some of these names in itself. All right, so here's some of the most completed ones recently, right? You kind of go through them and see what's going on. You can see some of their prices are obviously a lot bigger. That's why, right? Notice that, right? This company here just came, Luminar Technologies Incorporated. Y'all know this company here. They're the company who's from. They do the. God, am I sharing my screen? Because I know I get talking, forget to share my screen. But they're the ones responsible for this LiDAR technology. That Tesla actually said it was garbage, but the new guy that got a good backing, the IPO backing, a good funding backing recently, man, this stock been tearing it up. This LAZR, check them out. They do LiDAR, autonomous driving, radar system company. They make that or enhance value of the LiDAR system, right? So definitely go check them out. As you can see, they're 176%. 176% since they came to market on December the 2nd. This thing is up 176%. Look at QuantumScape. QuantumScape is up 637%. 637%. This SPAC value came available on a few days after Thanksgiving, November the 27th. 637%. I mean, it's that kind of stuff. 60%, 60%, 109%. Right? This RVPH ain't do too well apparently. 30%. But you see the gains in them, right? 225%. All right, 26%, 46%, 76%. Some negatives too. Right? Joker gapped up and came back down. FSR, there goes your Fisker right there. Right? There's your EV play right there, and that's back. Everybody knew about that one, of course. But it's still up 61% so far. So some of them got some impressive returns, 71%, 87%, 121%. Big 13% on that one. That ain't due to a SFT. We've seen that one before too, SFT, Shift Technology, 100%. And some of these like, November, December, October area, right? So they just came to market somewhat. Right? So again, do your research. That's all y'all know how this stuff go. All right, do your due diligence. All right, guys, so that's it. So you got any questions before we get ready to shut down? We'll do a quick little Q&A, and I'm gonna get on off here and relax. Chill out and see what this market gonna do for us. This stimulus check stuff, right? They're gonna cut the check, or they're gonna cut the check.
How do we buy the warrants?
Say again, over.
How do we buy the warrants?
Oh, you can do it the same way. And it depends on the platform. Some platforms are very selective about which warrants they allow you to buy. Because I know Webull was very selective, like I think about a month and a half ago, because I was trying to buy a couple warrants, and they wouldn't listen. Now they're starting to listen where you can buy them. True story. So I guess they got a lot of messages where people are asking like, hey, why y'all don't allow us to buy the warrants? You're not gonna probably be able to buy every last one because it still has to meet a certain threshold, right? They want to make sure they have at least enough, volume or at least enough interest, right? Kind of like how TradeNet was when they used to add certain stocks to the platform that you could trade. It's the same way, but you'll buy it the same way you buy a regular stock. It's no different. Under that ticker symbol, obviously, you have to make sure it's the W behind it. That signifies that it is the warrant, right? And then from there, you got it up until that expiration date. And some of them, like I said, you can check the expiration dates. They ain't hard. Some of them expiration dates go out like 2-3 years from now, right? Over a year from now. So if you plan on holding from that long, of course, turn it into an investment. Of course, just know that you're dealing with, expiration value on that warrant. But definitely you can buy most of them. If not, just go to another platform like Robinhood. If you got money in a TD or something like that, a more bigger platform. If Webull tripping, of course, you could move around a little bit till you figure out who's which of these platforms are offering it for you guys.
Right on. Okay.
No problem.
Thanks.
Anybody else got any more questions before we get ready to get out of here? What's going on YouTube, back chat? Peace, power, profit to the fam. See everybody in the back chat a little bit, chilling too. So again, I hope the information was informative. We'll talk about it again. We will go back over this stuff again because you know how this stuff goes. It never sinks in the first time quite the way we want to. But the idea that we sparked the initiative in you guys or the interest in some of the SPACs, not that you have to, but when you see them, now you can kind of move around the information a little bit better now, right? You can have a little bit more understanding of what's going on. So as y'all can see with my screen here, right? This is pretty much the timeline that it takes, right, for these SPACs to come in. Like Sister Monica was saying earlier, you can come to market a lot more, more streamlined and more faster, right? In terms of the time, it starts to the end time. Right? Engaging counsel, auditors, all that stuff, get all your book stuff right, incorporate the SPAC, all right, sell the founder shares, whatever the case, clean up everything, prepare the S1, right? Any amendments to that of the S1, SEC obviously had to make sure they have a record of it. Right, negotiate the underwriting and ancillary agreements. That's done with some of the little banks, whatever. But it's done again different than that of an IPO, right? Where they can't come mess it up because these companies are already public, right? Roadshow pricing and closing, same way you would do like a regular IPO, right? Target search and negotiation phase up to 19 months. Of course, regular periodic SEC filings, obviously keeping those filings, up to date and current in terms of what you're doing, right? With your business growth, mergers or acquisition, M&A, as they say. Conduct diligence and negotiate acquisition agreement, potentially arrange committed PIPE and or debt financing. All right, some of these people who's coming out of the bankruptcy side of the house, they can come back in on the new share structure, stuff like that. So it helps them out in that perspective. They come right into a SPAC and get funding right away. That's really gonna be awesome because people that did come out of a Chapter 11 bankruptcy, they come in with a SPAC. Back into the game on the SPAC, that's gonna be great. I know they're like, this is good, right? That eliminates a lot of their problems out the gate. Some of the old debt they have to pay off to their creditors, right? So sign acquisition agreement, stuff like that. Of course, y'all see what's going on here, right? And I posted this little screenshot you can pull up, but I posted some guys who want to follow, or just go to Google and see what the process of a SPAC is. It'll show you the complete timeline how this the SPAC is obviously put into motion. All right, so again, just some really good information. Not necessarily what they call a complete deep dive, but enough to get people who have an interest in it. Pretty much get them some good information to work with to start off with. So take it just like that and go figure out what's the next thing to pop, right? And then when you make a lot of money, just make sure you don't let it rain that club cheaters and that like that. Save that money and reinvest it. Right? Don't let it rain at the struggle strip club. Right? They're struggling right now outside in the blow up tent. Still trying to get it in with a mask on.
Did you say in the blow up tent?
In the blow up tent. They out there. I saw that. I don't know if you saw that. I think it was some out there in Houston. I think out your way, Chris, somewhere they had a blowout tent outside. They were at the strip club outside in the tent.
Houston got them hot girls like this.
Man, them Joker had them masks on out there. I would have pop-up pole, probably arrested out. That Joker get it in. Hey, boy, you ain't tell people they ain't gonna have a good time. Not in America.
By any means necessary, boy.
Any means. She out there catching pneumonia and everything, trying to make it happen. I'm like, post sister, post little woman. Crazy, boy. But that's it. So, guys, thank y'all for tuning in again. Thank y'all to my illustrious panel as always. Thank you, Sister Mo, Evil Mo. Go subscribe to Sister Monica channel. Don't think twice. Go subscribe to her channel. Let's help that sister get to 1,000 subscribers, hopefully for the new year, right? So, if y'all go on channels like whatever channels you go to where there's a large following, go spam their chats. Go subscribe to our Sister Monica channel. If you go watch, especially the Dag Squad or Real Black Atheists and Mossy Warrior Clan, MBK, of course, the little circles we all been hanging out in. Whatever, go spam their chat with. Go subscribe to Sister Monica channel. Help that sister get to 1,000 subscribers, hopefully before the new year. Same for Over Chris, right? These guys need to get the following that they're definitely putting in the work for. They deserve it. Of course, y'all know we putting out quality stuff, right? We putting out quality stuff. We putting out actionable intel basis. What I'm saying, tangible, applicable information. It's not a whole lot of entertainment in what we do. I get it, and that's why it's kind of boring to some people. But when you got the kind of mindset that a lot of us have when we're chasing, our little goals and hitting our little targets and being able to make our own money, then this stuff is just like, man, this is like Christmas every day for us, right? Because we're learning how to be more thorough. So some of you guys are new to this. I was like, Christy, you new to this. You're learning now. You're seeing it now. This is what it takes, right? It's that sacrifice. It's that interest that you have to have. And that light bulb goes off. Look, rarely do people walk away from this. Rarely, right? Brother Marquise and Brother Brandon, y'all definitely can speak to this because y'all been at this for a minute too, so y'all understand, all right, the dynamic of it. You stick with it, you will get better, right? You will get better. All right, so just make sure y'all remember that and stay hungry, right?
Yeah.
All right. So any closing remarks on the way out the door? We get out of here. Sister Monica, any last words?
Hey, we appreciate the information. Definitely the education on the SPACS. We got some new knowledge to go in, research and study up on and fill our portfolios. And you guys get your income shifting going. It's 2020-21 coming in. So it's time to get those portfolios increased, see your net worth go up. A lot of information. Go back and revisit some of the videos, and so you can prepare and start the year off at a very happy status versus a sad note based on the pandemic.
Thanks to all that. All right, Brother Marquise. Marquise.
Just want to say appreciate the presentation. I learned so much. I was very intrigued by the information and the opportunity that's out there, and it's crazy. It's like one of the only probably two spaces I can think about where you can just make money from being nosy.
Right. That's good. I'm glad you said that because this is good gossip, right? That's a good gossip.
Exactly.
I don't know what y'all talking about over there. That's over there ain't growing, but over there they got that gossip that grow. It grow legs.
Where it pays the pocket watch.
Thanks. Good analogy.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just, man, it's crazy. It just opens up, what I'm saying, a whole new world. And I really just appreciate, being able to learn something that is like on the cusp of becoming what's the new thing. Because that's what I learned about being in cryptocurrency. The people who get in,
first
are the ones who make the money. If you get in there when everybody knows about it, it's probably too late.
Right.
So
It's already old.
yeah, so just the fact that this is something hot and it's new and it has so much potential and nobody else is really talking about it, I think that you really put us in a good position to make some real returns off this information once we apply the knowledge. So I appreciate that, and just want to say peace, power, profit to everybody in the chat. Appreciate y'all being here rocking with us. I know y'all learned something powerful, so like, subscribe, share the video. Appreciate everybody in the chat and on the panel.
Thank you, Oba, as well. Thank you for that. Thank you, 100%. Thank you, Oba. All right, awesome. Oba Chris on the way out the door.
You already know. Get in where you fit in. We at the end of the year. Like Mo said, most importantly, when it comes to, your taxes, income shifting for your investments, please sign up for her class with my econ. You can happily sign up under me to get her class as well. Subscribe to her channel. Uh, just keep learning. Take this information. I'm definitely appreciative of this information. Thank you, Deshonda, for bringing that up because it was kind of like glaring, and of course, Oba already been on it. Uh, I'm glad she brought that up so we can have this discussion today. So always shouts to Over African Emporium for taking time out of his day, doing his due diligence, doing his research, to put this information together today for us to take advantage, do our studies, and you know things like that to make an investment, make some money. So appreciate to that. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. I put out
What's the name of the actual channel too? Make sure you plug the actual name. So we got to get you guys. I mean, you guys, man, look, we got to help you guys get over that. So, and I already know because I said it before. When Dan and them going live over there, and Rob Boy and everybody, y'all should have a designated time either before the video or after, even during, to plug in all y'all channels individual, because sometimes we get lost, we get caught up in the information, we get the grinding right going in, and we forget we got other people out there attribute to the same circles that we all in anyway. Go ahead and shout them out. You know what I'm saying? And so they should be doing that, for you. And of course, when you and others, you could be doing it for them, because that's what I do. Hey, go subscribe to the MBK channel, and the Dagger Squad, and this, that, and third. It's we all need to be building these scenarios out. So yeah, don't hesitate, man. Shout your channel out all the time. Plug it in the back chat, and it's fine. Spam it up. I rather spam it, man. Spam it.
Real talk.
Be honest, man. Come on, we putting in work, man. Joker, man. Look, Joker gonna feel it for us over with. They ain't got to or not. You just gonna get paid regardless. But seriously, people that need to get serious. Like, if people need to start really getting serious about figuring out how to way to increase their financial situation, and you ain't offering nothing but a positive. It's a net positive. Knowledge in itself in this industry is a net positive, right? So go spam them up. That's it. So thank you, Oba Chris. Thank you, Oba Brandon, on the way out the door. Any last words, Oba?
I'm gonna just basically rebuttal everybody who just said something. Always thank you for coming on, putting this information out there for us to grasp and hold on to it. I'm in the works right now, making my YouTube channel, so look out for that. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. I'm the first subscriber. Get it as soon as you throw it up there. I'm on it.
Thank you. But just again, thank you. I mean, and for everybody who's watching your channel, who's in the back chat right now, you need to put this in play. Enough. Watching on the sidelines. You need to jump in and basically what Chris said, get in where you fit in at. You've been watching Oba, AE for a while. You need to get in. Don't wait for the new year. Start tomorrow.
Yeah, the market's only gonna keep going up, man. These people already talking about something. They think the market gonna put up about near 10% next year. These people already be planning. I mean, literally months and years out. They're gonna be like, man, look, I'm waiting on the stimulus check. All right,
4D
chess move, man. It's facts.
4D chess move.
Straight 4D chess move on the Joker. The Joker be like, man, market gonna crash tomorrow. All right,
right.
We got a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Got him right. So, yeah, you're right. So thank you with that, Over. Like I said, yeah, definitely you get your channel up. I expect the same for you, Over Marquise, at some point, man. You got a lot to offer, bro. Come on, let's get these channel popping and get paid off of them, right? And let YouTube cut you a check. That's how I look at it. They cutting out, man, the checks they cutting out on YouTube for some of the stuff y'all be seeing on here. Y'all be like, these jokers got 1 million, and they ain't hating on you. Like, well, how you get 1,000,000, 100,000 views? You sitting up here, dumping staples or something. I don't know what be doing on them. They be doing all kind of crazy. I was like, God, dog, but you want to be entertained that much, huh? All right.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
I know that's right.
Yeah.
I definitely got a channel coming soon. Just getting all that content, ready. getting it all curated, you know.
Nice. So you guys deserve it, man. Y'all been putting in the work, putting in some work for a long time, man. And I see a lot of people come, that been in some of these Discord rooms. I've been back, years and years, and they just started the YouTube channel like literally, a day or so ago, and they already over 10,000 plus subscribers. So like, God, dog, Joe, Joe got this meme, Marty. But at
Right.
least they're doing some of content again, something that gives people the ability to go out there, to build upon, so to speak. Not that other channels don't, of course, but I'm just saying the aspect of putting people, the power of people, the power in the hands of the people, is no better way to learn how to make your own money, especially when it comes to the equity markets in this case. But I'm always a big proponent and big follower of that. So shout out to everybody that's doing it and build up the channels of people who need to be doing it. All right. Christy, on the words on the way out the door?
I don't have much to say since I missed most of the broadcast, so I will go back to re-listen. But I just wanted to say thank you to you and everybody else that shows up for these what I call networking moments. I learn a lot from it. And thank you to African Emporium and Monica. Because of your YouTube videos, I've gone to this point and started my
It's breaking up a little bit.
training lately, but I know I'm setting myself up well for 2021 to have truly peace, power, and profit in my life. Something that I've been looking for a while, to not be so stressed financially. And it was just by pure accident of looking for information on YouTube one day that I found Sister Monica. And it's just, I've been a part of a lot of different business groups. And this is the first one that I have found where the group is genuinely helpful with each other. And the information is always filled with great information that you can take forward. And I'm looking for a word, process, but really implement into your life that's going to bring assistance, to your life and to other people's lives, which is a big thing for me, is not just me, but for those around me. So I don't have, a lot to say like the other here. I'm still learning, but thank you. Thank you to all of you, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you as well. And again, well received, and we'll receive that. Like I'm always saying, of course, money or the ability to be able to procure money is universal, right? It transcends any aspect of, again, ideology, thought, even, religious, values, whatever. It depends on, it doesn't matter because, again, money doesn't care who owns it, right? It's there to serve a purpose. And universally, if you're trying to make a better life for yourself, of course, when you think about what it takes to be able to do that, what you have to sacrifice to get what you feel like your fair share pie of the pie, so to speak, right? It should definitely lead more people to come together to realize how to think tank more, because the power that's in the hands of the few, right? It's just mind blowing, right? It's mind numbing how so few can control so much wealth. Yet there's not enough people who have the education or the educational fortitude to say, well, hey, let's figure out some ways where we can kind of, educate everybody else so they can do the same thing, right? Because what they're doing is not rocket science. Well, we're seeing that now, right? It's a product, it's a service, it's a stock, it's a QSIP number. You have access to it like everybody else. But so many people have no clue. They're so stuck on trying to prove it through the rat race, getting a job and going into, again, whatever works for certain people, that's fine. But ultimately, like you just noted, when you need that extra assistance to even having a job, there's no better opportunity out there than, in my opinion, that puts you in the game like literally the next day than investing in trading, right? And they don't require nothing of you besides knowledge, capital, laptop, cell phone, computer, broadband connection, like Wi-Fi signal, right? And knowledge, and of course, you ready to rock. You running an online business, literally an online business, and you're familiar with a lot of products anyway because you buy their products or use their services, right? Kraft ketchup and Coca-Cola and Procter and Gamble products, and Unilever product. I mean, we can go on and on for days, right? Ford, GM, you buy the car, buy the stock, possibly, who knows? right? It's crazy, right? So again, stuff like that, it's. I think it's just really time out for us to. It's time for us to really, really take it to the next level. So I'm hoping that's the case for a lot of us in 2021. A lot of people who are new, who are waiting on the sideline. Hope y'all seen enough from a lot of people that are speaking tonight and taking a chance on themselves, because that's basically what you do. You take a chance on yourself. Right? You took a chance on yourself, Christy. That's why you're here today. And you're going to obviously take it to the next level. I know you're going to crush it. Same way I know everybody else on this panel. They're going to crush it. They're going to continuously keep crushing it. Right? Because, again, you get better with time. That should scare y'all. It should scare many of you guys, even in the back chat. You guys don't even have a man. Y'all probably know, but you just don't really know yet how thorough you're going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years from now. Right? You're going to be killing it. Right? And so, hey, just stick with it. All I'm going to say, stick with it. Right? And you will reap the benefit. So, shout out to you all. Peace, power, profit, everybody in the back chat. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for coming through. Thank you, Over Sunline, coming through. Our resident bounce at the door, holding it down, dropping some tickers in the back chat, letting y'all know he already bought it. Right? I love it. Right? I love it. Right? So, shout out to our family, Jared Palit. Family C. Russell came through this evening. All right. Again, we're over here on the subsidiary channel. Right? This is my SPAC. Right? African Emporium 2. While the other channel over there going through its curation process, right? So thank y'all for tuning into this channel as well, all right? Brother Mathis, everybody else that came through today, shout out to you all. And everybody that's listening that popped in and out, thank y'all for tuning in as well. All right, enjoy your Sunday, get ready. All right, future market already popping. Y'all see it's blood red out there right now, right? We know what that's all about. It's got to do a lot of that London lockdown stuff, Europe over there locking down. They got a new strain of virus over there, so be careful. Everybody's shutting their borders to London and that area over there at this point, so they get that on the route. So that vaccine couldn't come fast enough, I guess, right? But hopefully they stay safe and people, can dodge this virus best they can, and people can get back to some kind of form of normalcy. All right, so that's it. So peace, power, profit. Thank y'all. See y'all on the next one. Hope I get a chance to go live. I may get lucky and go tomorrow. Who knows, right? We only got a couple days for the Christmas holiday, and I say a couple days, but a week that might be odd anyway. You might have a Christmas rally. There's a such thing called a Christmas rally. Go Google it. True story. We'll see if it's gonna happen or not. I don't know, but we'll see. All right. That's it, guys. See y'all in the next one. Peace, power, profit. Be safe. Until then, get your bag. Right. Shout out to everybody. Peace, power, profit, everybody. Right.
Peace,
I
power,
promise,
profit.
man.